Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Line drive, left field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes his second run home, and the Sodbusters have the lead.
Us Hastings kids, we kind of have our own little crowd going on in the corner, so it's been a blast.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3, and the Sodbusters are out of trouble in the 7th.
I kind of get what's expected, and we're supposed to do it the right way, everything else, but at the end of the day, it is summer baseball, and we're here to improve every day, but also have a lot of fun.
Sodbuster Baseball.
Previously in the summer, I got to play with a kid from Japan, so that's a cool connection there, and it's just nice getting to know everybody and seeing what they like, kind of maybe they show me something that I'll like and enjoy and take on for the rest of my life. You never know.
Swing and a miss. And the Hastings Sodbusters have won for the 3rd time in a row.
You got to make sure you have your composure and stay true to who you are up there. You got to be able to know what kind of baseball player you are, and you got to play to your strengths.
The Hastings Sodbusters.
Welcome to a day filled of baseball here at Duncan Field. In case you missed it, the Busters are hot. They recorded their first win at Duncan Field last night in walk-off fashion in extra innings. It took 11 innings and just past 10 p.m. to decide a winner, but the Sodbusters came out victorious for their first win at Duncan Field in 2023. Hello and welcome. I'm Ryan Valenta, joined alongside Steve Stein as we bring you the doubleheader today for the Hastings Sodbusters and Casper Spuds. Last night, the 11-10 victory went to the advantage of the Sodbusters. They'll play 2 here today. It'll be 7-inning affairs as Sodbusters will make up 1 game loss due to rainouts a few weekends ago here at Duncan Field against Casper. Casper came in yesterday holding the first 5 games over the head of the Sodbusters before Hastings able to get the 1-run walk-off win in the 11th inning. So today we will have 2 games, and tomorrow we'll have our last game at 6:35 normal scheduled time. If you're in the area, there's another game to come out to. Come out to Duncan Field as we celebrate healthcare heroes here at Duncan Field. Coming up, we'll have the post-game interview from last night from assistant pitching coach Vinny Carone. We also have another Sodbusters spotlight in Rusty Wortman, who had quite the day yesterday. All that and more coming up. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
This is Sodbuster Baseball. Hastings and Casper getting set to go for Game 2, a doubleheader on this Saturday. Sodbusters coming off their first home win of the year as they took down the Spuds 11-10 in 11 innings. We heard from pitching coach Vinny Carone, who talked about the performance of Jacob Shaw, who worked 3 scoreless innings to pick up the win in relief.
Tough, very, very tough. Never afraid of the moment. All the confidence in the world in himself, and we have all the confidence in him because of that.
I want to say, and for Shaw, 3 innings pitched there. Seems like he could have pitched a whole nother game there. Just how big was that from Shaw? Was that the plan to pitch him that long? Like, could he have gone longer if he needed to?
I think he probably could have given us one more inning if we needed him to. Obviously, we don't want to run him out there for 3 innings on Friday night because now we're a little shortchanged the rest of the weekend. But when you have a win in your grasp, you got to go for it. And I mean, he's conditioned; he can throw 3 or 4 innings. But the plan is usually 1 or 2, 8th and 9th. If we got to go to the 10th, we got to go to the 10th. But if we're in that situation, we need him, we're going to keep our best guy out there.
And many crooked numbers offensively. How big was it to put 6 on the board in the second to at least play from ahead for the first time really since the season opener?
Yeah, that's kind of been the problem, is just those guys have jumped out to a big lead, and then we've made errors. They put a lot of pressure on us, and when they get ahead, they can really be aggressive on the base paths, and that's when they're at their best. And so for us to get out to that 6-0 lead, it calmed them a little bit in terms of being aggressive on the base paths, and I think that also gave us some confidence to say, like, all right, here we go. Now it's time to lock in and win a game here at our home field instead of just winning one on the road for once.
And really cool, you got some big 2-out hits. You got production up and down the lineup. Rusty Wortman, here's a guy, maybe not your everyday catcher. He had a huge day at that number 8 spot, as well as catching a lot of tough pitches today.
Yeah, Rusty was great, man. He got hit in the head in like the 7th or 8th inning, toughed it out. Talk about Shaw being good at the end of the game. Rusty blocked a couple balls that would have been the go-ahead or winning run. And so for him just be tough for 11 innings, and then also the big base hit earlier in the game, a lot of really, really good at-bats down the stretch. He's the guy that we got all the confidence in the world in. We got a lot of good catchers on this team, which is a good problem to have. And he just put up a lot of good at-bats today. So it's good to see because he works hard, and he deserves to have that success.
The courage the team showed, up 10-6, seeing Casper tie it at 10. Casper had walk-off wins basically in their last 2 games. Talking about the intestinal fortitude after it looked like it may get away.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that this team needs a little bit, is winning a close game. Obviously, we've been on the losing end of a lot of games recently, or not recently, just throughout the season. It's been a little bit better recently, but the more you win those close games, the more you get confidence in yourself, the more you figure out who your guys are, and those guys throughout the lineup, like we just talked about, they get some confidence in themselves in big situations. You can't have confidence in big situations if you've never been in them, so it's good to have that test today.
How fun was it to coach in a game like this? I mean, able to push some buttons. I mean, you know, when you're getting blown out, when you're playing from behind, it's so hard. You're able to pinch hit, you're able to pinch run. How fun was it to be involved in a game like this where you can do some of those managerial things with you and Coach Skipper?
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a chess match, which is why it's fun to be a coach sometimes, because you got to figure out all the different pieces. You got to determine when to have an intentional walk, when to pinch hit for somebody. And some of those moves can be questioned and criticized. But at the end of the day, you're putting your best guys in the best position to succeed. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Most of them worked out today, so that's the good news.
Sodbuster pitching coach Vinny Cerrone after an 11-10, 11-inning win over Casper. Same 2 teams getting set to go today. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
That's assistant pitching coach Vinny Cerrone, as good to have him up in the booth talking Sodbuster Baseball with us after the game last night. And how about Jacob Shaw pitching 3 innings in relief, coming on pitching the 9th, 10th, and 11th innings, picking up the win as he was able to shut down the extra inning threats from the Spuds. And here in the Independence League, similar to the major leagues where 10th inning on, you have your last out on second base, and all you need is a single in the outfield to score the run, but Shaw did great. Wortman as well, I could mention not too much playing time for Rusty, the Gretna native, but he got on base 5 times, especially with 4 walks too. He's a big part on the bases and behind the plate, as Vinny mentioned, blocking those key pitches that could have gotten away and scored the tying runs. Coming up, we will hear from Mr. Wortman as part of our Sodbuster Spotlight feature. All that and more coming right up. We'll be right back.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Good game and a Sodbuster victory, I guess. Talking after a win, talk a little bit about the way this team battled and clawed and got the victory.
You know, at first I thought we were going to take care of it early, you know, get up quite a bit there. We were up, I think, 6-0, and we kind of let them crawl back into it, but I think we fought our way to the end and ended up with a nice walk-off hit by pitch for the win. So
whatever. It doesn't really matter how you win. Take that. And you had a big 2-run single to kind of set the tone. You guys get 6 runs on the board just to take a lead. Talk about the comfort in the dugout to play from ahead compared to playing from behind. What's the mentality?
It's definitely a lot easier playing from ahead. You always want to help your pitchers out, especially as a catcher. I'm trying to do everything I can. Give them a little bit of a breathing room. Give them some space to work with a little bit of comfort on the mound. And I think when we get ahead, we've shown that in games, like our pitcher's a little bit more comfortable out on the mound, and then I think that allows them to get into more of a groove and kind of go into the later innings with comfort and confidence.
And at the 8th spot in the batting order, I think you walked 3 or 4 times. You're on base pretty much every time. Talk a little about the way the bottom of the order got it done, because I think you had Nolan Oliver behind you seeming to get on, about getting on and turning the order over. Talk a little about the importance of that.
I think we definitely stuck to our approach well. We weren't chasing pitches outside of the zone. We were taking pretty much for a strike. Their pitchers kind of all over the place. So I think that kind of got into our heads, maybe see a strike or two and then work from there. And I think we did that really well.
You kind of took a beating back there, and the catchers, it's been awfully rough with guys like Vital getting hit in the head, and you took one off the noggin today. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Kind of scared me for a little bit. I've had quite a few of those in my career, but they always shock you a little bit, but I'm fine. So all good.
We're talking with Rusty Wortman. He's one of the catchers for the Hastings Sodbusters. We talk a little bit about your college, too. Tell us a bit about where you're going to college, what the plan is for this coming year.
I am currently at Northeast Community College up in Norfolk, Nebraska, and I've been there for 2 years. I took a medical redshirt my first year, so this past year is my freshman year. I'll be heading back for my sophomore year.
Now, from Gretna and Northeast Community College was a pretty darn good team. Talk about the season you guys had in the spring.
We had a really good season. We had a good group of guys. I don't think we returned very many starters. I think we had 3 starters return this year, so it was a lot of young guys, but I think those young guys really stepped up. We showed a lot of fight, went pretty deep in the conference tournament, which is something teams in the past haven't quite been able to do. And I'm really looking forward to next year. We got a good group of guys.
And how's your role going to change in terms of now being a sophomore or even a redshirt sophomore? Are you going to be one of the leaders on that team?
That's my intentions. I definitely want to go up there and kind of show the freshmen, how it's done, how we do things the right way, and just be kind of a leader, a vocal leader out on the field. And I kind of stepped into that role a little bit this year. Being a freshman, I was technically a second year, so I kind of knew the way things went, kind of showed those younger guys, kind of what we expect up there and how to do things the right way, like I said. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't have to change that much. But
you come from a tradition-rich high school program, and Gretna's had some great Legion programs. How did that help you as you set the foundation for college?
Legion ball's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing school ball too, but my senior summer ended up winning Legion state championship. So we actually played down here at Duncan. That was probably the most fun I've ever had playing baseball. Just guys I've been playing with for 4 years in high school, really tight-knit group. 15 to 20 of my best friends were on that team. And I think solidifying that state championship really taught me how much fun I can have playing this game, and I want to continue that in college, and I think I've done that so far.
You had a chance to play in that multi-state regional here in Hastings, right?
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We got to play some different teams. I know we played a team from Arkansas that was pretty good. Played a team out of Kansas, I believe, so definitely some good competition out there.
And it's really cool. I mean, the Omaha Metro League teams just dominated Nebraska for so many years, but then your area, with teams like Fremont, to see those teams kind of come to the forefront was kind of cool at the end of the year that year.
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely awesome because I'm not sure, I think it was 2 years before that, it was Fremont and Gretna in the state championship once again. And then, so I think 2 out of the last 3 years, because that was the COVID summer. So the COVID summer, we didn't do anything. I know they had the Metro championship, but they didn't really have that state championship. So I guess back-to-back years, it was Gretna and Fremont. I thought that was really cool. A lot of people look at our area and kind of see that, there might not be that much competition, but there's some scrappy teams. Definitely, it's not a cakewalk to state like some people think it is. So
we're talking with Rusty Wortman, becoming one of the leaders on this Hastings Sodbuster team. And I know you guys are going to be wrapping up the first half. How excited are you for the second half with some of the newcomers coming in, maybe the potential shown? Do you feel like there's a chance for this team to kind of start over once the records are reset at 0-0?
Oh, absolutely. I think, we definitely struggled to start, and I think everyone kind of saw that, but these long bus rides, these long road trips, we kind of get a chance to gel and kind of learn who these kids are, and then I think we get a better feel for playing with each other, and I think that's definitely shown these last few weeks. We're coming close in games, we're showing fight till the end, and I think we're really gelling as a group, and I think that'll keep us successful in the second half for sure.
Talk a little about academics. I know it'll be your third year at Northeast Community College. How are the academics going? What do you plan to do?
So I just finished up my criminal justice degree, my associates, so going back for my third year, I'll actually have to pick up another major. So I'm doing a exercise science major. So I'm looking to get into EMT, paramedic type stuff, and maybe going to firefighting after baseball's over. So.
Well, that's awesome. So, you've got the opportunity with the criminal justice major, but you think, at a 4-year school, what's the potential major then? Is that going to be, I guess, maybe tell us a bit about that.
I might go into criminal justice once again because ideally I want to be a fire investigator or state fire marshal. And for most of that, you have to be a certified police officer to make arrests and stuff like that. So my goal is either to find a school with a fire science degree or just go criminal justice again. It all kind of ties in, so.
Rusty Wortman, he's one of the leaders for the Hastings Sodbusters. That's our Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Steve Stein.
That's Rusty Wortman, one of the many catchers on this Sodbuster roster. Seen some action yesterday as Sodbuster catchers have been dinged up a little bit here in the early going first half of the season. Zach Vital still day-to-day with a minor concussion. We've learned that. Not the first or the fifth, but the 8th about concussion for Vital. So Sodbusters are playing it safe, keeping him on the bench. He is a substitute today, as well as Grant Jones on the substitute for the first time here in a few weeks. Jones, younger brother of designated hitter Nick Jones, who sprained his ankle. Initially, what the Sodbusters thought was a pretty bad injury and would keep him out a few weeks, and Jones is a substitute. We'll possibly see him today in the lineup as we are almost set to go here to Game 2. This is Ryan Valenta and Steve Stein bringing you Game 2, and good game yesterday for the Sodbusters and high offense. The pitching staff gave up a few more runs than you'd like, but can expect a good game. The Sodbusters, they're on a winning streak, Steve.
Gotta love it. 1-0. Let's just start it 1-0. Don't have to mention the overall record. Although yesterday, Ryan, you talked about the offense. Did you realize that yesterday's Hastings-Casper game was the pitcher's duel in the Independence League?
And how's that?
The other scores in the Independence League yesterday.
Oh.
Fremont held off Badlands 12-11. Hawaii down Spearfish 15-13. So we had the low-scoring, crisply played 4-hour contest compared to the other two games. Casper's 10 runs, the fewest runs scored, as I think everybody's battling through June pitching woes near the end of the first half. There's going to be a lot of teams probably pretty excited for that break coming up after the weekend.
21 runs scored in this game, and that was the least. How about that? I was not aware of that. So speaking of the other games, Badlands and Fremont battling it out for the first half title in Fremont, and whoever wins the first half is automatically into the Independence League playoffs at the end of the season, as the records will technically reset. You keep your records, but it'll be a new 0-0 start for the Sodbusters in the second half, as they will have 4 days coming up near next week where they will have that off, as the Sodbusters will regroup, practice, take a little bit of a break before traveling to Spearfish next weekend for a 3-game series. Let's take a look at your starting lineups here for Game 1 of this doubleheader. For the visiting team, they will go with their same starting 3, Elijah Reeves, Matthew Marsick, and Chandler Burke today. And 4, 5, and 6, Chandler Stocking, Nathan Martinez, and newcomer Dawson Barakani. Stocking playing second base today, and Martinez doing the shortstop. Dawson Barakani will get his first start in the series at third base. 7, 8, and 9 is Jacob Griffin. He'll play right field after being the designated hitter last night. Lucas Danuitz will stay in at first base. Mac Wilkins will catch again. And we got word from the Spuds that Reed Beatty, the Spud first baseman, he's all right. He is definitely a little banged up, and we saw him at the field at the end of the game last night. If you weren't with us, Reed Beatty trying to catch a ball thrown from Mac Wilkins, the catcher, did not get a good eye on it and missed the ball and hit him in the face. And he was briefly taken to the hospital, checked out, but was released. He's got some stitches, and he's got a pretty big shiner on his face, but he appears to be okay. But we'll expect probably we won't see him the rest of the weekend. For the Sodbusters, they go with their same top 3 in the lineup as well. Engage Frank, Marcos Cabranes, and Landon Gaz. Cabranes will be doing the catching today. Nick Jones, Kyle Hiltbrand, and Cale Jensen, 4, 5, and 6. Jones will be the designated hitter. Hiltbrand in right field today. replacing Ty Matson, who will be a substitute today. And Cale Jensen came on to pinch hit last night, gets a start in left field today. 7, 8, 9 to round out the order is Josh Prinner, Anthony Chavez, and Nolan Oliver. Chavez getting the start at third base today, and Oliver moving over to second base after playing third yesterday. They will start behind Dalton Juden. And Steve, this is a right-hander who's made 5 pretty good starts. He's been one of the most reliable guys on the team. He can eat up innings. He's leads the team with 25 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts to just 8 walks. And that's something that the Sodbusters have dealt woes with, those free passes. We've mentioned the walks, the hit by pitches, the reaches on errors. So this will be a guy that the Sodbusters will have to rely on today and maybe get an early lead against too.
A 2-game winner so far. Dalton Juden's had a pretty decent time in the starting lineup. His last time out against Oahe, the winning pitcher, this past Friday, 6 2/3 innings, allowing 5 runs, just 3 of those earned. He allowed 7 hits, struck out 6, and walked 2, and hopefully Dalton can do what he does. Now, you may think, why are they pitching Dalton the day after they pitched Fred? That was my initial thought. You wanted those guys going back-to-back. Are they too similar? So I asked him that when we had a Sodbuster Spotlight, and he said there's enough difference. They have different release points. They have a few different pitches, so it's not like facing the same guy back-to-back, even though from up here they almost look like twins, but it's going to give Casper a different enough look that they're it's not going to be an advantage for the opposing team, that they're not going to be seeing basically the same guy they saw in the starting lineup yesterday.
Yeah, and Fred Juden just an inch taller than brother Dalton. Both of them from Coral Springs, Florida, going to Fayetteville Community College in North Carolina. But yeah, for Dalton, he's been one of the better starters for the Sodbusters this year, to go along with Braden Anderson, who's seen some relief appearances as well. So for the Sodbusters, they pitched Jacob Shaw last night, 3 innings. Like we said, he was the winning pitcher, so he will definitely have the day off and probably likely see Sunday off too, as the Sodbusters will probably get him to rest and get some of their other relievers out here. For the Spuds, it's a different story. They came into this series a little banged up, and a couple of guys not making the trip for the roster, most notably their 2 best relievers, and Nick Flores and Daniel Barcena, not making the trip with the Spuds. And boy, they could have used them last night in the Sodbusters offensive blowout, as the Sodbusters scored 11 times, their most at Duncan Field. So you got to figure, we were wondering, in 12 games, Sodbusters had not been able to secure a win. What was wrong? Well, if you just score double-digit runs, they're 1-0 when scoring more than 10 runs. So you got to figure that's maybe something in to factor in. So the offense will they will go against Tristan Tatum. So we still should be starting here shortly. We're just a little bit behind schedule. We are going to take a quick break here, and then we will be right back to preview the rest of the game and bring you Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. Trying to get set for game 1 of 2 of this doubleheader tonight at Duncan Field. Appears that we are missing the boys in blue. We're trying to figure out the whole situation there, but we will have the game coming for you shortly. For the Sodbusters, coming off their first win at Duncan Field in 12 tries. Took a baker's dozen to finally get that first win, but behind for a gutsy performance, and gritty beats pretty, as we've heard them say. The Sodbusters coming out on the end. And how big was it, the extra innings rule? Like we mentioned, there's a runner on second, and for the Spuds yesterday, they started the 9th and 10th inning with 2 of their fastest runners, and Sodbusters were able to keep them at bay. No thanks to Jacob Shaw, who saw his longest outing at 3 innings pitched. And for Shaw, he lowers his season ERA to .64. Good for one of the best in the Independence League right now. Opponents just hitting 149 off of the third-year Sodbuster. But keeping those runners at bay and being able to finally cash in on the opportunities in the 10th, I think is really what got the Sodbuster team the win.
Yeah, they win at 11, but the 10th inning, the top of the 10th, to me, was the really key turning point. Because when Casper opened the inning, they had Elijah Reeves at second. That's just exactly who they wanted there. And the Sodbusters, they end up intentionally walking Chase Burke. So first and third, actually after a sacrifice, they intentionally walked Chase Burke. So first and third, with one of the top RBI guys coming up, Chandler Stocking. And Stocking, who really struggled in a lot of different ways yesterday, first pitch swinging, hit a comebacker to Shaw. Shaw freezing the runner and able to get the out at first. That was the key at bat in the whole extra innings to me. And then Shaw able to get out of that inning. He worked a scoreless 11th, kind of similar scenario to keep him off the board. And then Sodbusters getting it done in the bottom of the 11th, just the way they drew it up. Back-to-back hit batsmen to load the bases and then to win the game, as Gage Frank now tied for first on the team in RBIs with that bases-loaded HBP. And he also now leads the team in that category with 9 of them as he takes the Purple Heart, gets the run batted in. Don't care. Walk it off, and Sodbusters will take it. And it was just neat to see the guys have a chance to celebrate down the first base line. Yes, it was probably maybe over the top on a celebration, but man, it's been a pretty frustrating month for particularly the guys who've been here since day one. Yeah, the guys who just came in the last few days, they haven't had to experience what the rest of these guys have experienced. And so hopefully that sets the tone for the rest of the weekend, because you don't want to just end there. Here's a great chance to come out and get Casper for a couple more. Literally, they are banged up. I mean, you mentioned Reed Beatty, and I talked with the head coach Mike Bowles a little more about Reed, and it sounded even more gruesome than it looked because the sunglasses came into play. So the ball smashed the sunglasses into his eyelid. They got most of the fragments out, but there was one fragment that they were still unable to clear out. As I was visiting with Reed down there, I mean, his eye was totally swollen shut. He had the stitches above it, and I just, I'm thinking of that. And I guess, I'm not sure about damage to the eyeball itself, but just that part of it just about made me shiver. So you've got that guy gone. We didn't even talk about one of their top players who did not make the trip. Is out for the year now, Brock Molenda. He has the lone home run for Casper this year. They're not a power-hitting team. Molenda was the power guy, if you will, hitting .324 with a couple of triples and that home run. Molenda has an elbow injury. There's some sort of ligament damage that it's kind of like a rubber band that loses its elastic. And so they're doing a procedure to his elbow. And so he's going to be gone for the year, so you feel bad for him. And they've been a couple of catchers down because earlier this year, Mac Wilkins, who has got a great arm, I don't know if you remember the fact that he got hit by a pitch the first game of a doubleheader against Hastings earlier this year and had to leave the game, so he was out for a while, so he's just basically coming back. They also said goodbye to Danner Hamburg. Hamburg out injured. And they also released a few guys, so they bring a fairly short roster here. So Sodbusters, hopefully they can find the way to get into the bullpen, even though they're probably facing Tristan Tatum, who may be their number one starter at this point. He leads their team in innings pitched, so it'll be interesting to see how they're able to get on him. Hopefully they can find a way to knock him out of the game, because how deep is this Casper bullpen? We'll find out. You kind of got to give a tip of the hat to the guy who came in and worked some relief innings. I don't know what the expectations were when they sent Julian Abraham out there on the mound, but he goes 5 2/3 innings, didn't allow a run and allowed only one hit. He kind of saved their bullpen to, if they could have got him out after an inning, who knows how they'd be for the next 3 games of this series, but he probably at least saved them some arms heading into the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, the Spuds starters here at Duncan Field not been very successful. You'll remember the very first game the Spuds came and played, was Max Voster starting on the mound. He was pulled in the first inning after a rough outing, and Bobby Simmons came in and relieved him and pitched very well, kind of similar to Abraham last night. Pitched at least 6 innings and did not give up a run. So the Spuds, they have those long middle relievers, which they may have to turn to starters here in the second half this season, as all teams will get a mini break here coming up. After this game, the Sodbusters and Spuds will play once more tomorrow at 6:35 before Casper will go to Oahe. Actually, they will be home at Oahe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So not much of a break for the Spuds, as they're going to go straight through the break, it looks like, according to their schedule. So yeah, for Mike Bowles, this is a team that is going to have to limit themselves. They're going to have to play smart, preserve their bodies, and not do too much of it. Yeah, you want to win games, but got to have bodies to win the games there too. So for last night's game too, they wanted to kind of limit the arms they put out of the bullpen. They gave Cooper Hack an extended outing, and we didn't know how long Cooper would go. He hadn't pitched too long in the initial going, but Hack able to go 3 innings, his longest outing of the year. And then Julian Abraham, like you mentioned, 5 2/3 innings before giving way to Brayton Wilmus. And you got to wonder if Abraham just ran out of gas or if he was just not able to continue there. He looked pretty sharp, like we said, just giving up 1 hit and no runs, 2 walks while striking out none, as Wilmus ultimately took the loss with Shaw getting the win. So it's going to be a different story here today. Both teams are going to look for their starters to produce a lot of innings to hopefully save the arms for the second game. And with this be a 7-inning game, if you pitch good, you might have your starter go the whole game today and then save your arm for the second game and the next game tomorrow.
We're awaiting this 4:15 game to start. 4:15 is suggested time. Still waiting for umpires, but we'll just see how it goes. And the Sodbusters going to have to throw more strikes than they did yesterday. You look at the combination of the 6 pitchers yesterday, walking 12 while striking out only 7 and hitting 3. You're pretty fortunate to win when you're giving away that many free passes. And you talked about the starter, but some of the highlights of the pitching yesterday. Tex Cook goes 2 innings, allows no runs on 1 hit, didn't walk anybody. Walks have been an issue for him sometimes, but he strikes out 1. And then Braden Anderson comes in, gets out of a jam, works an inning and 2/3, allowed just the 1 unearned run and struck out 1. And then you'd mentioned Shaw, the lockdown guy, the final 3 innings to pick up the win. So those the pitching highlights. As far as the hitting highlights in that 11-10 win, the Sodbusters, a tremendous job in that second inning to plate 6 runs, kept the inning going, took advantage of the opportunities presented them. And Landon Gass, how about the way he started his Sodbuster career? His first and third games have been outstanding. A 3-hit game yesterday with 2 runs knocked in and a run scored. Marcus Cabranes just keeps on being what he has throughout the course of this summer with 2 more hits, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Kyle Hiltbrand, almost brand new to the team, gets a huge 2-run hit and a run scored as he goes 1 for 5 on the day. Rusty Wortman, our Sodbuster spotlight, he only had 2 official at-bats, but Casper had to be wondering, how the heck do we keep this guy off base? He was actually intentionally walked as part of his 4-walk effort yesterday. Goes 1 for 2. He really set the tone with the 2-run single. You're looking for somebody to step up and get the job done. Bam! After the wild pitch to give the Sodbusters the lead, it was Wortman that hit the 2-run single to give the Sodbusters that early working margin. And really neat to see Rusty take advantage of the opportunity presented him. Throw in a bonus stolen base. He's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Don't you be talking bad about catchers, as he's done a nice job of running the bases when he's had the opportunity. Nolan Oliver, here's a guy who was 0 for the first 3 weeks of the year has been given the opportunity with some other injuries. He gets on base a couple of times. He scores 2 runs. And so the bottom of that order just kept turning it over for the top. And one of the reasons that the Sodbusters able to get their season opening win as they do get their first home win of the year and their 5th win of the season.
They will look to do that and more. We will take a break, otherwise we are going to run out of stuff to talk about throughout the game. So we'll keep you posted on the umpire situation as it becomes available. Now, this is kind of an unplanned doubleheader since last week. I mean, we knew this was coming a week ago, but might have had a miscommunication somewhere. We will try and bring you Game 2 as soon as we have the boys in blue here. We will take a little bit of an extended break. We'll let you enjoy the Duncan Field scenery, and we will come back in a while.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
We're back here at Duncan Fields. In lieu of the umpires, we will bring you some previous Sodbuster spotlights as we will pass the time. We'll have a couple of those here coming up.
We'll do break.
All right, we will have those Sodbusters spotlights coming right up. We'll stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. This is Sodbuster Baseball as we are in umpire missing delay. The doubleheader between the Casper Spuds and the Hastings Sodbusters coming up, so we're going to replay some of our Sodbuster spotlights, beginning with one done by Ryan Valenta.
We continue to feature Sodbuster Baseball. Today we're here with pitcher Braden Anderson. Anderson, a Kearney kid playing first season of summer ball close to home from Iowa Western. Braden, you've been a reliever, starter. How's this first season for the Sodbusters going for you so far? What's worked for you so far, and what are you still looking to work on here in the season?
I think it's gone great so far. Some things I'll keep working on are pitch location, working on a little bit of a new arm slot right now. Kind of a work in progress. I think it's gone great so far, but that's something I'll keep developing with the coaches and my coaches over at Iowa Western.
So still at Iowa Western, just finished your first season there. Talk about that spring season. What's different from the spring playing at Iowa Western to here in Duncan Field, and what are you looking to take back to the Reavers this fall?
I'm looking to kind of take back to the Reavers kind of like my mindset, a little bit of a different mindset when I go in. Something I'd like to work on is each pitch. Each pitch is different. If you throw a ball before, don't be mad about it. Get back on the mound. Let's attack him. Let's get after it.
And this is a season where seen its ups and downs. Your first 3 starts and first 3 appearances
pretty money, and then you had that rough outing at Duncan Field last time. How different is it pitching at a ballpark where it is almost impossible to put a ball out compared to your home field with the Reavers?
Iowa Western, it's pretty tough to put a ball out there. It's a swamp donkey, I'd call it, and here it's very big. I mean, 405 in the corners, 370 down the line. I mean, it's gonna be real tough to hit it out. Here, hit your spots, man. Let them hit it. Let your infielders, outfielders do the work.
So it's your first season in summer ball. You're adjusting to a whole new roster. You get to know a whole bunch of other guys. How's that been for you so far, and how's it been like getting along with the guys in this short time so far here in the summer?
It's great. I love, the best part about baseball, I think, is go traveling and meeting new people. And one of the things that I like about baseball is the traveling part and kind of getting to know everyone from different places, kind of what their culture's like, how they play baseball, what they might do differently than I do, and I can kind of learn and adapt. And, baseball is an evolving sport, and I think it's awesome to just kind of learn from new people and different viewpoints.
So you're at community college now, still looking for opportunity later. As far as education-wise, what interests you, and what are you looking to get out of your college experience education-wise?
So I'm doing a business major, and then I would like to kind of go into like a real estate and maybe just, own a business someday and see where it takes me from there.
A lot of guys want to play at the D1 level. We've got another year at Iowa Western. After this next spring, if you're still healthy, you're looking to transfer to another school and keep playing ball after that? If so, where would be your ideal spot, or where more realistically are you hoping to end up there?
Yeah, so I got no idea where I want to end up. I kind of just want to keep playing, get to my best ability of pitching, and just kind of adapt and go from there, see what happens.
Talking with Braden Anderson, pitcher for the Sodbusters. So, done some starting, done some relieving. Where do you feel that you're most comfortable on the mound in certain situations in the game?
That's a tough one. I like to start. I also like to relieve. I kind of like coming in tough situations. But I also like starting, just like clean slate, brand new ball game. Relieving, though, it's just fun coming in tough spots. So, I like the role of both, and see whatever happens.
And a lot of these guys on the roster, you got some like the Judens from Florida, you got other kids from North Carolina. You're a Kearney kid. You're playing baseball, summer baseball, just down the road here in Hastings. How cool is that to keep playing close to home?
Oh, that's cool. It's cool to kind of be around some people that I grew up playing baseball with. Growing up playing against them, obviously, and I think it's a pretty good experience to just kind of be like around my hometown.
So you've been a pitcher pretty much all you've been playing through baseball. Do you have one or two guys in the majors, or maybe in that similar level, that you looked up to when you were growing up?
Yeah, for sure. Someone I've always kind of looked up to. I've always looked up to Max Scherzer. I like his pitch style, kind of attack guys, mean, aggressive kind of guy. A new guy I kind of look up to nowadays is Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider is kind of one of my guys. I like his mentality, kind of his pitch designs, kind of some wicked things he does with his hip mobility, and kind of some different things, different philosophies of baseball. So, yeah, those are a couple of guys I kind of looked up to.
It's Braden Anderson with Ryan Valenta. Sodbuster Spotlight done earlier as we're in a little bit of a delay. Supposed to be a 4:15 start time, but missing umpires somewhere along the line. We had a little short circuit. Umpires should be on their way, and we'll try to get the first game of this doubleheader. 2 7-inning games between the Sodbusters and the Casper Spuds. We'll continue to replay some of the Sodbuster Spotlights. How about we replay an interview with Jacob Shaw, who was lights out yesterday. We got his perspective on how things are going down at Northwest Oklahoma State, and how the early part of the season was going for him. That interview coming your way next. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
It is the Sodbuster Spotlight. Steve Stein with Jacob Shaw. He's a Hastings guy, and nice to have him back as a Sodbuster for the third year. Jacob, I know wins have been hard to come by for the team overall, but you've done a pretty good job. Talk a little bit about how you feel you've done here in the early going.
I've thought I've done my role pretty well, just going out there competing, giving us a shot to win.
And the opportunity to come back here after maybe a tough spring. Talk a little bit about what you want to accomplish this summer in terms of X's and O's, if you will, on the mound.
At school I kind of struggled with spraying the ball around a little bit, and my goal coming here is just to fill up the strike zone, punch guys out, and just compete.
How tough was it in the spring down in Oklahoma? I mean, it was an awful spring here in Nebraska where, you're battling 30-degree temperatures, high winds. Was it a little nicer weather, or was it just tough to get any kind of decent weather to play down in Oklahoma?
For the most part, it was pretty nice, but, being in Oklahoma, there's always the wind aspect, so, keeping the ball down and not letting anything get up in the air was pretty key.
You're down at Northwest Oklahoma State. Has that been a good fit after your time at Cloud County?
Oh, for sure. I kind of think of Alva kind of just like Cloud. It's a small town, small community. Everyone supports us pretty well, but, yeah, it's treating me well.
You mentioned the fact the role changed. How tough was that from you going from a starter's role to the bullpen? Was that difficult in the spring?
It was definitely difficult because I didn't start a game until I went there, and then I was a bullpen guy at Cloud, so it was probably since my junior year of high school. That was the first game I started, and it was kind of tough bouncing around, and then finally towards the end of the year, they kind of honed me in on being the closer, the high leverage guy, so it was nice being there.
And it sounds like maybe Sodbusters, that's where you wanted to be, and maybe that's where they wanted you to be coming into the summer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When I talked to Scotty on the phone during the spring, he said, yeah, we're going to have you as the high leverage guy, closer guy, and then that's perfectly fine by me. Closing the door for games.
We're talking with Jacob Shaw, Hastings guy. How special is it to spend at least one more summer here playing at Duncan Field after some high school and Legion memories?
Oh, man, it's great. I can't get enough of this ballpark, man. I can't get enough of it.
And especially pitching here. I feel bad for a guy like Braden Anderson. As we speak, he's not pitched here yet. He's done really well on the road because, if you do your job, pitching in this ballpark can be pretty special.
Absolutely. Just filling up the strike zone's key here. Walks will kill you, but, players are going to get themselves out here if they... any ball in the area is pretty much an out here. So, yeah, but I'm sure we'll see Braden on the mound here sometime this week, so it'll be fun to watch.
I know over the last few years you've gone from one of the young guys to now probably one of the oldest guys on the team. Talk a bit about your role. Do you see yourself as a leader? Do you try to kind of get guys calmed down when things aren't going well?
Absolutely. We don't have a pitching coach right now. He's coming here in the next few weeks, but I try and manage the staff, help out where I can. Definitely matured over the years, but yeah.
Is that led you to, thinking about a different kind of career? Do you enjoy that aspect of it? I know you're an ag business major, but all of a sudden you're, the quasi-pitching coach. You kind of like that aspect? Do you see yourself maybe staying in baseball while doing some farming?
Absolutely. I love teaching these young guys because I've been through the ringer, so it's just like any tips that I can give out and help them, and it makes me feel happy.
We're talking with Jacob Shaw, and it's kind of cool to see the success stories. We've seen a guy come out, maybe struggle one day, and then turn it around the next day. I think of a couple of those guys. I don't want to mention them by name, but when you see that happen, how much pride do you take? Okay, a few things, and they can get it going, because mentally it's hard when you get beat around one time or you can't find the strike zone one time to come back.
Yeah, it's great. Say I give a tip, and then they go out and fill up the strike zone, or just made a game adjustments, and I help them do that. I'm super proud of those guys that I helped them with.
We're talking with Jacob Shaw. You know this interview is live at Duncan Field because the train's going by in the background. That's what makes this live interview a lot of fun. Okay, I think we can hear it again. An opportunity to major in ag business. How did that fit into your plans? Have you enjoyed the academics down at Northwest Oklahoma?
Oh yeah, the academics have been a blast. We have one of the best ag departments, I think, in the entire country. Teachers are great. Yeah.
One more year of college, perhaps 2 more years of baseball. Have you thought about how that dynamic's going to work?
I'm kind of just soaking it all in. I'm gonna play this next year, and then after the year ends, I'm gonna weigh the options a little bit and see where the year takes me, and then we'll go from there.
Jacob Shaw, that's a replay of an interview with him, our Sodbuster Spotlight, as Jacob was the dude yesterday. 3 innings pitched to pick up the win in relief as he worked the 9th, 10th, and 11th. No runs, no hits, struck out 2 and walked 1 to pick up his first win of the year and lower his ERA to 0.64. We're in the delay mode as the weather is perfect. We're ready to play. And we don't have an umpire. So we're going to just kill a little more time here. We've got several of our Sodbuster Spotlights that we've played previously. We're going to replay those, let you relive those. It's really cool to feature the athletes on this team, not only from a baseball standpoint, but to hear about their college journey, because let's face it, there's not going to be very many major league players coming out of any college league, and you've got to be thinking ahead to the future, and most of these guys have a plan, so it's neat to hear those kind of plans as well. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with Gage Frank, as Ryan Valenta interviewed the hero from a quote-unquote hitting standpoint as he brought home the winning run, being hit by a pitch to drive home the game-winning run yesterday. We had that interview earlier this year, and we'll replay that interview with Gage Frank. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
You're listening to the Sodcast. This is Ryan Valenta alongside Gage Frank, Sodbuster leadoff guy from Marion, Iowa at Des Moines Area Community College. Gage, tell us a little bit about your spring and what you're studying for at Des Moines.
My spring went pretty well. I got over 200 ABs, batted leadoff for DMAC. We had a pretty decent season. We were about 33 and 23, something like that. And we got knocked out first round of the playoff on a walk-off grand slam, so that was tough. But overall, I had a really good time in the spring, and then trying to carry over how I played in the postseason over here.
And what year is that for you for the spring for Des Moines?
It was my sophomore year, so I'm still undecided where I'm going next year. So.
And pretty good in the spring, 22 multi-hit games, hitting .311. And I mean, if you're hitting that in the majors, you're pretty much an all-star there. So tell me how you transitioned from Des Moines and how you landed up in Hastings playing ball here.
Well, I was just looking for a place to play summer ball, and my coach called me up and said they need an outfielder for a few weeks. So I said I jumped on the opportunity to get some more ABs, and that's kind of how I showed up here. I showed up a day before season.
And Cannon also on that Des Moines Area Community College roster. Saw he redshirted us here. Did you know him before you got here, or did you kind of knew he was on the same team?
No, I knew Cannon. I've known him since high school. We played in the same conference. Always knew he was a good player. He played third base for us, and then we just kind of talked to each other and decided to come play here this summer.
And how was that being able to come here with a familiar face and knowing you have somebody here? You know, it's tough. You got to learn a bunch of new guys' names, people you never seen before. But just how has it been, like, adjusting to all these new faces here on this new roster?
Yeah, it's always good to have a buddy with you, and it helps you make friends. But we just kind of drive back and forth with each other, changing each day. We live together at the same host family, and then the road trips, you really get to know the guys pretty quick. So it's been good. I feel like I've already got to know a lot of them.
And speaking of that road trip, you know, you didn't get to play 2 of those games, but got to visit Mount Rushmore, and as Scott said, you were cooped up with a cabin with some other guys too. Talk about that road trip experience and how that was to bond with your other teammates.
Oh yeah, we just had a lot of team bonding time. We went out to Deadwood a little bit. That's a nice, cool place in South Dakota. Then we went to Mount Rushmore, and then just hung out in the cabins all night and got to know each other. So it really was a good trip, even though we didn't play. But we really bonded together pretty well.
So now 5 games in, still on the losing end so far, but not too bad for you so far. Hit a home run in your game against Spearfish, so pretty good to play to so far. Overall impression of your first year in Hastings so far?
It's been good. Just trying to keep playing good and hopefully getting the win column tomorrow.
All right, let's talk about Frank here personally. Gage, it's preference from person to person, but if you had to choose any meal that you could eat after a game, what's your best go-to meal? You can eat anything.
I always in high school always went to Culver's after the game. I just really liked that butter burger and getting butter burger and fries and a root beer after a game.
What about the cheese curds there? You cheese curd guy?
Yep, they got really good cheese curds. Best in the business.
All right, so baseball's obviously, you're playing in the spring, playing in the summer. Got to have some off time too. When you're not on the ball field, what's your favorite thing to do?
I just like hanging out with my friends. The week I had between my season and coming here, I went up to my cabin. We boated a little bit, hung out with my buddies, so that was fun.
Okay. And plan is to go back to Des Moines in the fall then and get back to it?
No, I'm a sophomore, so I'm graduated from there. I'm just kind of waiting for a D1 opportunity here in the next month, but we'll see how it goes.
Gage Frank with Ryan Valenta. That interview from earlier is featuring some of our previously played Sodbuster spotlights. Gage, now a graduate of Des Moines Area Community College, hoping to attract some interest, D1 or otherwise, still looking for a 4-year institution. And Gage has been one of the top players this year, leads the team with 3 home runs. He's tied for first on the team with 14 runs batted in, and he took over the team lead in being hit by a pitch with his 9th of the year to bring home the winning run in yesterday's 11-10 shootout with the Casper Spuds, as Hastings winning its first home game of the year, trying for its second home win of the year, but we just can't start the game. The good news is it's 0-0. They're not behind, but they're not ahead either because the umpires haven't showed up yet, as we're in that kind of delay, about 35 minutes behind our scheduled start time. So we're going to keep having an opportunity to play back some of these player profiles, and we're going to hear from Marcos Cabranes. The replay of that interview coming away next, as this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot, and sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Welcome back to another Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Ryan Valenta, today joined alongside Marcos Cabranes, a Puerto Rican native who is spending his college days at Arkansas Tech. Marcos, talk to us about how you came from Puerto Rico and going to college in Arkansas.
My senior year of high school, in the spring, I decided to look for schools, a video I have made, and I just sent it to a lot of schools. And Arkansas Tech gave me a good offer, so I went on my visit. They liked it. I liked it a lot, and here it was.
And so have you always been a baseball guy, or when did you start playing baseball?
Yeah, I started playing when I was 3 years old. So I'm 21 now, so I've been 18 years playing baseball.
Do you have 1 or 2 baseball idols growing up?
Yeah, Jair Molina was always my guy. He's from Puerto Rico, and he's from my favorite team, the Cardinals. So that was my guy.
How about, a lot of guys have nicknames throughout their careers in baseball. You have a nickname or two that you remember that you like?
Yeah, when I was my first 10 years of playing baseball, when I was little, my teammates started calling me Superboy because I made a lot of plays that you wouldn't think so, diving plays and stuff. So it was flying, and it used to be fast. So
All right, so let's talk about college. So you're going to Arkansas Tech, played 3 seasons there. Tell us about what you're studying and what you plan to get your degree in.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna get a dual degree in engineering and criminal justice, but we'll see.
Ideally, after college is over, do you want to keep playing baseball, or what's the outlook look like for you after college?
I want to go to law school after, so, and I would like to play baseball after, but you know, whatever is out there for me.
Law school. What's your dream job?
I don't know. I would like to be a lawyer. You know, I've been taking some like minors in it and minor classes, and I love it.
All right.
I love it.
This year, this third season, 2.5 if you count the COVID year at Arkansas Tech. You guys went 32-22 this year. Fortunately, you made it to that Division II regional, but kind of lost in the first round. Tell me about that spring season. What worked for you, and what do you need to improve on here in the summer?
Well, it was a good season. At the end, my bat died a little bit, and I had problems. I was swinging it good, but no luck. But the team was winning, and so I was behind the plate the whole year. I was catching, and I helped the team the most I could. And I just want to stay healthy this summer and just improve my hitting. That's for sure.
You got a couple guys on this roster that also went to Arkansas Tech with you. How's that being able to play with some of your spring ball guys here this summer?
It's pretty good. And Nick Jones, he was our DH, and he did a good job. So it was good. It was good seeing that he's coming here. So like I know he can help the team. Tex didn't get that much chance this year, but I know he's a good pitcher. So I know he was gonna get that chance. It will be good for him coming in for next season.
Okay, Marcos, now tell us about how you came from Arkansas Tech. How did you get your connection here to the Hastings Sodbusters?
I have a couple teammates throughout the years. I've been playing at the Sodbusters. So my coach at Tech, he has the connection, and I told him that I never played summer ball. This is my first time, and actually my first summer in the United States. So I told him that I wanted to play, and he said the Sodbuster will be a good fit for me. So he like put me in contact with Scott, and here I am.
Have you played summer ball before, or is this your first summer ball experience?
First time ever.
Well, 8 games in. No, the scorecard, it doesn't look the best, but overall impression of the summer season so far?
Well, it's been fun, you know, especially like when I saw that we were going to like places like South Dakota and stuff. I was like, damn, more like long drives. But then it was fun, you know. The time over there was fine, and we just gotta play better. We haven't played our best ability, and I know our team can. So
you're a utility guy. We saw you at the start of the season at shortstop, second base. You even caught the other day too, and you threw a guy out on the bases. Tell us about where you're most comfortable on the field, and are we going to see you play the rest of the position sometime this year?
No, I don't know, but well, my thing is on the infield. I feel I like it the best, but I feel like I do the best job catching, which I feel more natural. Like since ever since I was a kid, they like put me down up there catching, and it was like just one game there, and it was already like I was doing it forever. So catching has always been like natural for me, but I definitely like the infield better.
And where'd you play most in college at Ark Tech then?
Yeah, I play 50 games this year, and I caught all of them.
So you're staying the summer here in Hastings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who are you staying with, and how's it been adjusting to the culture in Nebraska so far in these past couple weeks?
Yeah, well, I'm staying with Brian and Kitty Huffman, and they're amazing. You know, they always like texting me and text because Tex is staying with me, so they always texting me like, "What do you need? You know, you want to go do activities?" Like they don't want us to be bored, and they like very welcoming since the beginning. Everybody here has been, you know, I feel the love, and I don't know, it's pretty good.
So after the summer's over, you planning on finishing up at Arkansas Tech? What does the fall look like for you after the summer's over?
Yeah, I'm planning on going back for my last year at Arkansas Tech and trying to get the best, stronger. That's my biggest thing. I want to get stronger because I know that's part of my game. I gotta be like improved. So, and then just roll in the spring and then do the best job of my life.
Last couple questions here, just kind of getting to know the guy's personal preferences. For you, after a ball game, you can eat anything. What's your go-to post-game meal?
After a ball game, I like steak. Since I'm in the United States, because in Puerto Rico it's different food, but I like steak and some mac and cheese.
All right.
For sure.
How about, obviously you can't quite get that at the concession stands here. What's the best concession stand food at a baseball game?
Hot dogs.
How about hot dog toppings? What makes the perfect hot dog?
Just easy. Ketchup, some cheese, no mustard, hate mustard, and
cheese. So you put like
nacho
cheese sauce?
Yeah, that's nice.
Ketchup and nacho cheese sauce. You heard it here first, folks. It's a hot dog combination we're going to have to try at Duncan Field today. Last question for you, Marcos. There's one interesting fact about you that people should know about. What is that?
I can speak 2 languages. I don't know. I like to be outside. I hate being at home. So I just enjoy outdoors.
Marcos Cabranes, the opposite of a homebody. We continue to feature Sodbuster baseball all summer long. We will have another player profile come up. Stay tuned with us. And this is Sodbuster Baseball. I'm Ryan Valenta.
That is Wonder Boy and also Superboy Marcos Cabranes, who we've enjoyed the likes of here at Duncan Field in this first half of the season. Just got word from Sodbuster crew, and oh my goodness, I see a man in blue walking out on the field. So we have umpires here. So
this is the only time that the umpires are going to be cheered in the entire game. As they're, yay!
I was about to say, I see one of them. Still yet to see a base umpire, but yeah, just about to say the PA guys said that we'll have umpires shortly.
As Kelly McNary, Lucas Baldwin are scheduled umpiring crew, and they, I'm sure, like I said, nobody likes when a game starts late, and whatever the miscommunication was, we feel bad for everybody involved, particularly the fans here at Duncan Field, because they were set to go for a 4:15 game, and we're going to be just about an hour behind schedule, and hopefully it'll be a crisply played 7-inning affair as they're dispensing with the national anthem in the first pitch, and we're going to try to get going as soon as we can.
And according to the management crew as well, that instead of our regularly scheduled 30-minute break will be almost next to nothing in between games, as kept people waiting long enough. We'll try and get our 2 regularly scheduled games in as quick as possible. So we will have game 2 of this 4-game set coming up shortly. If you're just joining us, let's look over our starting lineups again. First for the visiting Casper Spuds, who will be batting shortly. Elijah Reeves, Matthew Marsick, and Chase Burke be your 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Reeves in the center field, Matthew Marsick, the designated hitter, Chase Burke, the left fielder. 4, 5, and 6 is Chandler Stocking, Nathan Martinez, and Dawson Barakani. Stocking playing second base today, Martinez playing third base, Barakani at third base. Jacob Griffin, the right fielder, batting 7th. Lucas Danuitz, the first baseman, batting 8th. And number 38, Mac Wilkins, playing catching. And they will go up against Dalton Juden for the Sodbusters, who will make his 6th appearance, as the Sodbusters have finally taken the field as Juden goes for his warm-up pitches.
It's fascinating to see how this affects your 2 starting pitchers in particular. You've got Dalton Juden and Tristan Tatum. I mean, you're geared up, we're geared up as broadcasters, ready to start at a certain time, but how'd you like to be the starting pitcher where you have your pregame warm-up time, you know when you're going to start, you know when the game's going to start, and all of a sudden this is thrown an hour off, and hopefully that doesn't adversely affect either of those guys as they get set to go for this matchup. And both teams really hoping for a long start from their respective starters in this 7-inning contest. But Dalton Juden, we'll see how it affects him first, as he's the guy that's taken the hill now for the Hastings Sodbusters.
So we are just about set to go. Don't see a field umpire. I wonder if we'll be
maybe
running
one
with a
short
one-man crew.
Yep.
I mean, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. As we will we'll see who this is behind the plate. We have our regularly scheduled umpires, but we never know. This might be somebody different here.
I just want to see, a borderline check swing. Let's appeal to the guy. No, he didn't go. He runs out there real fast. Nope, didn't go. So, yes, this will be an interesting dynamic. And like I say, hopefully coaches have a little patience here, too, because this is certainly not plan A heading into this doubleheader, which will basically begin an hour late.
So we are just coming up on 50 minutes of the unintentional umpire delay as Dalton Juden will take his last few warm-up pitches as Marcos Cabranes, his battery mate today. Cabranes at second base today. As we heard in the interview, Cabranes can play the middle infield. That's where he plays a lot, but feels like he does the best job at catching. And we can confirm that as Cabranes has that cannon of an arm, and we've seen him throw runners out on the base pass before. So we are finally ready to play ball at 5:05 here in Hastings at Duncan Field. Just a crisp 50 minutes behind schedule, but game 1 of 2 of this doubleheader, this first of 7-inning games, as Elijah Reeves set to take the plate. As 88 degrees here in Hastings, wind blowing in strongly from the outfield. So we will see how that affects the game today. Juden from the wind delivers ball 1 upstairs. So Elijah Reeves, the leadoff hitter, takes strike 1. As there's the first pitch strike. We just have word. We have the plate umpire for now, and our field umpire should be here in about 15 to 20 minutes for the other half of the game. This is summer baseball, isn't it? This is just how it happens sometimes. 2-1 to Juden for Reeves into right field. And that'll fall in front of Hiltbrand for a leadoff base hit for Elijah Reeves. Reeves hitless yesterday, singles in his first plate appearance to start off the game. Now Matthew Marsick. Marsick's been a pain in the Sodbusters' side as he has frequently been on base, including yesterday where he had a hit, stole 2 bases, scored a couple times, and drove in a run. Marsick hitting a second-best .342 coming into the game. Takes ball 2 outside from Dalton Juden. Juden, brother of yesterday's starter Fred Juden. Pretty hard to tell them apart on the mound. Pitch is ball 3 outside, and 3 straight have missed. And there's strike 1 as that pitch goes over. So 3-1 to Matthew Marsick, who was taking all the way there. Runner goes, pitch is fouled back to the left side for strike 2.
That foul ball is brought to you by Trap Downtown, Central Nebraska's premier escape room.
The wind blowing in from right to left field, as we've seen most of the time here at Duncan. As we are 2 batters in here of the first game at Duncan Field. The payoff pitch is a called strike 3. Marsick thought he had ball 4, and he turns around and has some words for the home plate umpire. He's just asking if he swung or not, and gets the confirmation that that was a called strike and not a swing. So good bounce back from Juden after working the count 3-0 to come back and strike out Marsick for the first out.
Now going to face a really tough guy. Boy, Burke had quite the day yesterday.
Pickoff throw to first is late. Sodbuster infield from third to first is Anthony Chavez, Josh Printer, Nolan Oliver, and Landon Gaz at first base. Another throw over to check on Reeves, who's back in. Burke yesterday had himself a day. 4 for 5, including a double and 2 runs batted in. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Burke also stole a base to increase his stolen base total to 8 on the year yesterday. The 0-1, same spot, same result. There's quickly strike 2. Sun shining bright on the entirety of Duncan Field early going. Reeves dancing around at first, stays put. Called strike 3, a little bit more outside, but finds the zone. And that's 2 consecutive Ks looking for Dalton Juden, 2 down here in the first.
I think his Spuds are ready for the other umpire. He's not here yet, but I think they'd like the other guy behind the plate. But I'm just happy the game's going.
Just got to wonder if this is our scheduled guy or not, or Reeves on the run. Cabranes to second. The throw is on the second base side, and having to make the call is the home plate umpire, who got out there, but Oliver not able to get the tag. So Reeves swipes the base. It's his second stolen base of the series. Well, first pitch ball to Chandler Stocking, and Juden will cycle through the signs with Cabranes again. Sodbusters use an earpiece for the catcher, who relays hand signs. Strike 1 right down the pipe. Count is 1-1. They have Vinny Carone in the dugout, who kind of talks into a little device, and that plays in Cabranes' ear. And that's how the Sodbusters relay their pitches to the guy in the bump. 1-1. Blocked by Cabranes in the dirt. Count is 2-1. Stocking yesterday hitless, did reach base via walk and had an RBI sac fly. Stocking coming into the game batting .258, 17 runs batted in for the Spud middle infielder. That one gets away from Cabranes and goes all the way back to the screen, so Reeves will easily advance to third, and could be a pass ball there. Looked like that was just in and out of the glove of Cabranes. We'll see what the official scoring is on that. The count goes to 3-1. So now a fly ball to the outfield, especially with the wind and the speed of Reeves, can play to run in the first. Strike 2 just on the outside corner. Juden's been pumping the fastball in the outside part of the zone and getting the call so far. So count goes full to Stocking. Pitch from Juden. Swing and a miss. Juden strikes out 3 in the inning, and the leadoff single is stranded at third. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back.
Let's keep it right here as the game brought to you by Fisk Chiropractic, also by the Nebraska Lottery, Jerry Spady Chevrolet, Allo, Pepsi, and Coach's Corner. Also by Blue Fork Kitchen, Hastings College, Core CPAs, and the Hastings Visitors Bureau. Again, had an umpire delay, miscommunication. We have one umpire here. Another 10 minutes or so, we'll have our second umpire who will be arriving, but just doing our best to get the games going. Almost an hour late. They start at 5:05, so 50 minutes late as the Casper Spuds, they're going to be taking the field behind their right-hander, Tristan Tatum. And defensively, they've got Mac Wilkins doing the catching. Lucas Danuitz is at first base. The second baseman is Chandler Stocking. Nathan Martinez, the shortstop. The outfield left to right, Chase Burke, Elijah Reeves, and Jacob Griffin, as we bring you the bottom half of inning number 1. And once again, it's Ryan Valenta.
Tristan Tatum making his second start of the year against the Sodbusters. His last appearance was 12 days ago here at Duncan Field. At the start, through 5 1/3 innings, did get the win, his only win on the season. 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And his season ERA sits at 5.87. He has allowed at least 1 earned run, at least 3 earned runs in 4 of his 5 starts, the exception being the 1 earned run on June the 6th against Badlands, where he went 6 innings. So for Tatum, this is the guy the Sodbusters have seen before. They're able to scout him a little bit and kind of see what he is throwing. So the Sodbusters will have a little bit of an advantage seeing the same pitcher, but kind of the opposite way for the Spuds. They haven't seen Dalton Juden here yet, so pitching matchup advantage Sodbusters early on.
Early returns, Juden hitting about 85 on the fastball and his slider 74 to 75. So we'll see how that compares and contrasts to Tristan Tatum, the right-hander for the Casper Spuds.
Tatum, one of the few healthy starters remaining for this opening season as Gage Frank is swinging. First pitch foul. We got Frank Cabranes and Gaz due up 1, 2, and 3 for the Sodbusters. They go with the same starting 5 from last night and switch up the bottom for the order just a little bit. 0-1 to Frank, and a beauty of a breaking ball. Floats in there, and Frank is early. Oh, 2 to Frank, called strike 3, same spot as Dalton Juden was throwing those pitches on the outside corner, and Frank is retired on 3 pitches.
Well, trying to keep this game ahead of schedule. If you're going to get 21 strikeouts aside, every out's been a strikeout so far here in the first inning.
Marcos Cabranes, next batter for the Sodbusters. Off speed, floats in there for a strike. That's 4 straight to start the game for Tatum. Cabranes yesterday, 2 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. And that pitch is a ball for ball 1. Cabranes against the Spuds this year, hitting .318, 7 hits and 2 RBIs in the 6 games against the Spuds so far. Ground ball weakly to the right side, but foul. We mentioned Cabranes doing the catching today. Saw time at second base. Can see him at shortstop from time to time as well, as he's down in the count 1-2. Cracked to center field, right at Reeves. He makes a leaping catch as ball carried a little more maybe than he thought it would, but nonetheless, the out's on the board. There's 2 outs.
A little nonchalant. I'm going to fade back about. Oh, my gosh. I may just have to climb the ladder here and make it look pretty. That was a nice recovery there on one that had a little bit of leg on it.
Landon Gaz bats with 2 outs. Pitches down and away for ball 1. Gaz, one of 3 newcomers to the Sodbuster roster this week. Saw his first action in the Monday-Tuesday series against the Prospects, as that pitch will get out of play to the right side. Okay, we're going to have to watch the wind today as that pitch goes all the way back into fair territory, and Gaz flies out to right field for out number 3. Sodbusters go down 1-2-3. So no score through 1 inning. Casper has a hit. They'll look for more coming right up.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
No score in the second inning. Sodbusters go back out to the field as they will face 5, 6, and 7 for the Spuds in Game 2 of this 4-game weekend series at Duncan Field before the first half break for the Sodbusters. Thanks for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. This is Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein on the call with you today. We bring you Sodbuster Baseball. They look to continue their winning streak, albeit one, but that was a big win last night as the Sodbusters cranked out a gutsy, gritty 11-10 win in extra innings. With the extra inning rules in play, runner starting on second base, neither team able to squeak anything across in the 10th. Sodbusters got it done on back-to-back hit-by pitches in the 11th inning. Gage Frank being the hero, taking one for the team as he drove in the game-winning run in the 11th. Like we mentioned, it's looking at trends. First time the Sodbusters have scored 10 or more runs here at Duncan Field. They're 1-0, so could be the secret here. We'll see how the offense fares in the other 6 innings. Called strike on the outer half to Nathan Martinez. Martinez, playing shortstop today, was the third baseman yesterday. That pitch is called a strike, and both pitchers living on the outside part of the zone and getting the calls. Martinez takes time to regroup as Juden goes back to work and into the Spud dugouts. Looks like that bounced off the concrete behind. Everyone appears to be all right. Martinez yesterday hitless. Did reach base twice with 2 walks. Otherwise was 0-4. On the 0-2 is high for ball 1. One-two, wave and a miss. Good breaking ball from Dalton Juden, and he has struck out the last 4 Spuds in a row. 1 up and 1 down here in the second.
So getting strike 1 does such a thing of being able to pitch under your circumstances, and right now Dalton is owning this Casper team.
Here is Dawson Barakani for the Spuds. Game 1 beer batter here at Duncan Field. And misses for ball 1. Not sure where that one was, but missing the zone for ball 1. Barakani, relatively new on the Spud roster, a late addition, as he plays in just his 9th game of the Spuds' 20-game season so far. Barakani batting .238 with 5 RBIs. Able to check his swing. Didn't go there, but like you mentioned, Steve, there's one where you want to check to the field umpire. Still out without one so far. 3-0 is up high, so Juden misses on 4 straight. Barakani's on. And that snaps a streak of 4 straight retired. And Jacob Griffin will be the next batter.
I'd just love to see him, appeal and have the home plate umpire say, "Yes, he did!" It really confused people.
Jacob Griffin bats from the left-handed batter's box. Playing in just his 2nd game as a Spud. Made his Spud debut last night. Little dribbler down the third base line. Luckily that'll roll foul. Probably would have been an infield hit, but the Sodbusters will take that. Griffin last night in his debut was 0 for 3, but walked 3 times and scored twice. So Griffin still looking for his first hit as a Spud. Well, Barakani leads off first. There's a called strike for strike 2. Barakani at first. No stolen base attempts yet this year. Long look in. The 0-2 is down low for ball 1. Yesterday, Spud stole 7 bases off Sodbuster pitching. 1-2 is high and away for ball 2. After the weekend series, Sodbusters will have the next 4 days off. Spuds will return home. Fisted in foul territory, Anthony Chavez just could not make the play. Right in front of Mike Bowles in the third base coach's box. So perfectly placed. Griffin just able to keep that ball out of reach of Chavez at third. And we'll do it again. Juden ready. Ground ball to the right side. Oliver to Printer to Gaz. 4-6-3 as the Sodbusters turn the double play. They turn their 17th double play of the year as Juden ends up facing the minimum through 2. The Sodbusters coming to bat here in the bottom of the second.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Sodbusters coming to bat in the second inning as they will go back to work against Tristan Tatum, who set the Sodbusters down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Couple flyouts and a strikeout ends the inning, and never got to finish in the point on Landon Gaz in the last inning. Pitch that we've so routinely seen fly ball down the right field side that's headed towards the playground actually blew back into fair territory and flew out to Griffin in right. So that answers our question of how the wind's going to affect things today. So anything hit to the right side, even left side, outfielders are going to have to play a lot to their right here to track these fly balls down. Nick Jones steps in and takes ball 1 in the dirt. 1-0 to Nick Jones, designated hitter today. Tatum from the stretch. There's ball 2 away.
And we may have our 4th different wind direction. It was now blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner. We've seen it blow straight out and straight in today.
I think we've seen that flag in center field go just about every different direction. Watch out, Joel Skipper, and down the third base line. Nick Jones, not a lot of success against the Spuds this season. Just 3 hits in 16 tries, 188 average. Called strike on the outside corner. Jones checked his swing, but didn't matter. He does have 4 RBIs, though, against the Spuds. Looper into short left center field, and that finds the green grass for a base hit for Nick Jones. Didn't try to do too much and use that opposite field approach to get the first Sodbuster hit of the afternoon.
Vintage Jones, he has been going the other way here at Duncan Field, and just perfectly placed there. And it does have 1 stolen base this year. Don't know if they turn him loose right here, but we'll see what happens with Hiltbrandt. You play small ball and try to bunt him over to second.
And stop and play here. We have our base umpire, and thank goodness for that. You know, we still could be waiting here to start this game, but we have a home plate and a field umpire both here at Duncan Field. Good to have both gentlemen here. Probably were rushed a little more than they would have liked, and field umpire will have to immediately take his infield position as Nick Jones able to reach with a leadoff single. Kyle Hiltbrand, another Sodbuster, new addition to the roster, showing bunt, and that hit him just in the box. Hiltbrand running out of the box there, but just after that ball hit him. If the ball hits you outside of the box, you are out. Hiltbrand able to knock that one down before any further trouble. Bunting again, but pulls it back. Blocked by Wilkins. No advance from Jones. Count goes to 1-1. Jones still at first. And takes ball 2 outside. Hiltbrand yesterday went 1 for 5 with a double, which was a 2-run double. Bunting and foul towards the Spud dugout, so not sure the exact stats, but Sodbusters for the most part have struggled to get bunts down, fouling a lot of those balls off with 1 or no strikes and putting themselves into a situation where bunt's not feasible anymore. Ground ball to the left side. Martinez flips to second for 1, on to first. Just not in time as Hiltbrand able to beat the wrap. Bang, bang play. And first call for our field umpire is really darn close, but Hiltbrand is safe at first.
And more times than not, when the Sodbusters haven't gotten the bunt down, they have not been able to advance them any other way. And case in point right there, instead of getting a runner over, now you've got a runner at first with 1 man out.
So Jones and Hiltbrand trade places. Here's Cale Jensen. First pitch down the right field line, foul. Sodbusters with 6 home runs this year, 5 of them coming on the road. The one at home coming from the man at the plate, Cale Jensen. Runner on the move. Pitch down is wide, and Hiltbrand able to swipe the base. Ball goes into center field, but Hiltbrand will stay right there. Pitch was called a strike. So Jensen down in the count, 0-2.
Sodbusters may have an opportunity to run against Tatum. Only hits about 79 to 80 with his fastball, his changeup at 70, and his slider at 69. So he's a little slower than Dalton Juden here in the early going.
So count is 0-2. Everyone making sure they're on the same page there. First pitch foul ball, and the second pitch was called a strike. So Hiltbrand steals second base. He's in scoring position with 1 out. Pitch from Tatum is way outside for ball 1.
And if you're not going to get the bunt down, well, that's one way to redeem yourself. You steal your way into scoring position, so he didn't get the sacrifice, but there's a runner in scoring position with only 1 out.
Hiltbrand stealing his first base of the year. 1-2, it's wave and a miss as Jensen chased one low and away out of the zone. And that is the second out and second strikeout for Tatum on the afternoon.
Good job there for Tatum to come back and not allow Jensen to put it in play. Cale was at least hoping to move the runner along, and that'll be up to Josh Printer if the Sodbusters are going to continue the inning.
Printer with 1 hit yesterday. Against the Spuds this year, 5 hits. Fouled back to the screen. Printer with 13 hits on the year, coming into the game batting .206. All 13 of those hits singles, so still no extra bases for Printer yet. 0-1 to the gap in right center field, and that is in the gap. And speaking of, there's that first extra base hit for Josh Printer. That drives home Kyle Hiltbrand as that falls in right center field. Sodbusters take a 1-0 lead for the second time in a row here at Duncan Field in consecutive nights.
And you knew he had the capability. He broke the school record for doubles at Allen County Community College down in Kansas, and so expected him to be a doubles machine. This is a perfect park for doubles, and he split the right and center fielders there to bring home the run, and now he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Figured with the Speedy Reeves out there, he always seems like he's able to catch up to those balls, but not able to get that one, and the 14th hit of the year is his first extra base hit. Anthony Chavez will now try to drive Printer home as he swings and misses at strike 1. Chavez did not get the start yesterday, but came on as a defensive replacement. And the 0-1 to him. Wave and a miss for strike 2. Well, Tatum has found the zone quickly twice. And Chavez down to his last strike. RBI double for Josh Printer. He remains at second base. Here's the 0-2, way inside for ball 1. Chavez in. That bat yesterday was hit by a pitch. His only plate appearance of the day yesterday. 1-2, high for ball 2. Chavez now back in the count. Chavez hitting 182 in 10 games so far for the Sodbusters. Two and two pitch. Way outside. Gets away from Wilkins. Printer will try for third. And double clutched by Wilkins. So Printer's able to advance on the miscue from the catcher Wilkins. Had the ball in the glove and just squirted out. So Printer now 90 feet away. And Chavez has worked the count full. The payoff pitch from Tatum is fouled off from Chavez, so he stays alive. Sodbusters with 2 hits in the inning with their first run of the game. On the RBI double from the man at third, Josh Printer. Payoff again. Ground ball to third, and that's fair down the line. Printer will come home easy, and Chavez has an RBI single. And 5th run driven in for Chavez on the year. Sodbusters have 2 in the second.
Hastings has struggled so mightily getting clutch hits with 2 outs. How about back-to-back hits with 2 outs with Printer and Chavez? And that miscue at home plate may have cost Casper a run. I don't know if Printer scores if he's at second base, but he comes home from third.
A lot easier of a play for sure. Here's Nolan Oliver showing bunt and pulling back. Oliver got the start yesterday. Went 0 for 4, one of 2 starters without a hit for the Sodbusters yesterday. Pitch is way in for ball 1. Tatum with a longer inning than the first as he set down the Sodbusters in order. Facing traffic on the bases, Oliver takes strike 2. Count is 1-2. Couple of RBIs for the Sodbusters in the second inning. And right through the 5-hole of Wilkins, gets all the way back to the screen. So Chavez will advance to second on the wild pitch. And once again, from 0-2 now to 2-2. Oliver still in the battle here. To right side, over the first baseman and through for a base hit. Chavez coming around to score, and he will do so. Another RBI single for the Sodbusters, this time in the form of Nolan Oliver, who drives in his 3rd run of the year. A crooked number for the Sodbusters here in the second inning, as they enjoy a 3-0 lead here early on.
How about back-to-back-to-back 2-out hits from the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, and that turns the lineup over to one of your best RBI guys as they try to keep on keeping on.
So the bottom 3 hitters, first pitch running is Oliver, down to the right field side, and that will get foul. Oliver was running with the pitch, Frank with the foul ball. Frank struck out looking in the first. See what Oliver does this time. Not going. Swing and a miss for Frank, who goes down to a knee and comes up empty on the breaking ball. Frank down in the count, 0-2. Oliver runs again, pitches the ball, throw to second, is in time, and they got Oliver at second. So Oliver caught stealing. Oh, that will end the inning, but not before the Sodbusters score 3 times on the benefit of 3 hits. 3 hits, 3 runs, and nobody left. Spuds will come up to bat. It's 3-0 Hastings. We go to the third.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Top of the third inning, Sodbusters, just the third time here at Duncan Field, hold an advantage early on, and Dalton Juden back out to the mound for the Sodbusters.
It'll be his 35th pitch as he will be facing this Casper lineup. 8-9-1 coming up for the Spuds, who have been limited to 1 hit their first couple of innings. Sodbusters, meanwhile, coming up with 3 2-out hits to get the runs on the board. Josh Brenner, an RBI double. Anthony Chavez, an RBI single. And Nolan Oliver with a run-scoring single as the 7, 8, and 9 guys getting it done for Hastings in the second. Now it is going to be the bottom of the order coming up here for the squad from Casper, as we'll see Mac Wilkins step to the plate, and he swings and misses. No balls, 1 strike on Mac, as Dalton Juden, the big right-hander, looking to pick up his 3rd win of the year for the Hastings Sodbusters. If he accomplishes that feat, that would be half of the Sodbuster wins recorded. Bouncing ball, foul, no balls and 2 strikes on Mac Wilkins. We're in the 3rd inning, scheduled 7-inning game. As a pair of 7-inning games on the agenda in this doubleheader in Independence League Baseball. Then it'll be a 6:35 game coming up tomorrow night. 0-2 pitch, and that's a cross for a strike as Mac Wilkins could not pull the trigger on that. And Dalton Juden continues to be very impressive in his effort, as now it's going to be Lucas Danuitz. Did they have a change in their lineup?
Must have.
Because I had Danuitz in the 8 spot, Wilkins in the 9 spot. They batted in opposite orders. And now we're going to see the Hastings assistant coach come out and just double-check the lineup, as Danuitz should have batted in the 8 spot, Wilkins in the 9 spot. And he was out anyway, so it really didn't matter. But now we're going to see the head coach, Mike Bowles, come down the line. The lineup he gave us had Danuitz in the 8 spot, Wilkins in the 9 spot, and I thought perhaps maybe they made an adjustment after they handed it to us, but there is apparently some sort of discrepancy as they talk to the home plate umpire at this point. It's 3-0, Sodbusters on top in the second.
I looked at Game Changer, I looked at my lineup card, I was like, what happened to Danuitz?
That's exactly what I thought of.
I saw Wilkins batting in my scorecard. There's nothing for Danuitz, and I was like, did I miss him? But no, because Jacob Griffin grounded into the inning-ending double play. So, I mean, the rule is if you bat out of order, it's supposed to be the person who is supposed to bat should be out, but they let the whole batter go through. So I'm not sure how this is going to affect things, as they're going to call in the field umpire here. I know.
Would this second guy be out now? Because, I mean, I don't know. And you're an umpire, so you know much more about this than I do. But, yeah, I'm the same. I questioned my own sanity until seeing the coaches come out. But I was the same way. I'm thinking, okay, what happened to Danuitz? But, yeah, we saw the 4-6-3 to end it with Jacob Griffin to end last inning. And Mac Wilkins batted apparently out of order. And then Danuitz was trying to get into the box. And now coaches are getting together, and this is just what you need when you start 50 minutes behind schedule. Let's have a delay. But the good news today, it's a scorekeeping issue and not an injury, because my oh my, that was no fun yesterday. And again, we pass along our best to Reed Beatty and his family, as Reed took one off the face yesterday, and he is in the dugout. And the umpire's going to yell something back.
4 was supposed to hit, but 38 hit. That's out of order. Number 4 is out, 38 bats.
All right. Okay, so great explanation there. So 4 is out.
So
Daniewicz is going to be out, and 38, who just was out, will bat again. So that is a weird. So you get a do-over there if you're Mac Wilkins.
He just struck out, and he's going to get another chance to hit, and kind of see Reeves on deck in the dugout, just kind of with just a wry smile, you know. Ah, jeez.
Now this would be an odd occurrence. If he strikes out again, does that count as 2 strikeouts against him? Or actually, I guess this really never happened. I mean, the Mac Wilkins at bat technically never happened, as he is now batting officially, and Daniewicz batting out of order or not batting. He was actually ruled out. Mac Wilkins bats here in the 9 spot, and he swings and misses. So that's strike 4 on Mac Wilkins. He gets another look at Juden. I don't know who the advantage goes to. Juden said, "Yep, bring him up again. We'll take him again. This guy needs to be the beer batter." Here's the pitch. Oh, that's pretty good, but it's just a little bit below the zone. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So wackiness for the umpires. They show up late and they have to deal with this kind of stuff. So it's entertaining, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm doing the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. And I want the umpire to deal with that, as Ryan Valenta is an umpire on the side. Bouncing ball to the left side, and Josh Printer with a gun to throw out Mac Wilkins. A 6-3 put out. There are 2 outs in the inning. So Mac Wilkins, you can erase his strikeout from earlier. He grounds out now as he bats in the proper spot in the batting order. There are 2 outs, and we go to the top of the order with Elijah Reeves, and it is still Hastings 3 and Casper nothing. As we had Ryan doing the 1st, 2nd, and he'll be doing the 6th and 7th innings here in game number 1. And Reeves up there for the 2nd time, and he takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Elijah Reeves, who led off the game with a single, but it's been great job for Dalton Juden since that time. He had that 1 walk that was erased on a double play, and here's a high and tight one from Reeves, and this one clanks off the helmet, and he'll scoot down to first base as the hit batsman is going to be charged there to Dalton Juden. Elijah Reeves on base for the 2nd time. So Reeves aboard, Dalton Juden with the hit batsman there, and that is never fun. Tries to put that behind him, and we'll see Matthew Marsick step to the plate. He struck out his first time up, the first of 4 straight strikeouts recorded by Dalton Juden, wrapping around the 1st inning break. Marsick lines this one into left field, and he's able to get the hit, so quickly 2 on and 2 outs as Marsick, first pitch swinging. Reeves stays at second. Marsick at first. Great speed on the bases for Chase Burke, who struck out his first time up against Dalton Juden. Reeves raising his batting average to .279 with his 4-hit performance yesterday, as he knocked in 2 and scored 1 in the wild 11-10 11-inning victory for the Hastings Sodbusters that saw Casper see their team batting average lower to .274 for the years. They had only 7 hits on the day in 11 innings. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Printer's got it. Dishes to second. They get the force play over to Oliver to get Marsick out, and that will end a unique 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We're to the bottom half of inning number 3. 3-0 Sodbusters, and this is Hastings Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
We head to the bottom half of inning number 3. Hastings on top 3-0 as they did a nice job of getting 2-out hits. RBI double from Josh Printer, RBI single from Anthony Chavez, Nolan Oliver bringing home a run as the runs were scored by Hiltbrandt, Printer, and Chavez. And now Sodbusters will see what they can get done in inning number 3 as they will be batting Gage Frank, Marcos Cabranes, and Landon Gaz. The inning actually ending with Nolan Oliver caught stealing, so it is the top of the order up there for the Hastings Sodbusters and a 3-0 game. So Hastings put up 6 runs in the second inning yesterday, but couldn't hang on to that lead and had to battle into extra innings before finally coming out on top 11-10. Tristan Tatum brings the pitch across for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Tatum, 31 pitches that second inning. He's now throwing his 42nd pitch. And this one is on the outside corner for a strike. Gage Frank not so sure. Quickly 2 strikes on Gage Frank. We're in the bottom half of inning number 3 of a 3-0 game as Tatum about 80 miles an hour on his fastball. And called strike 3, same spot. Frank probably didn't like either call as he'll head back to the dugout. And that's back-to-back strikeout looking for Gage Frank and 3 strikeouts on the day for Tristan Tatum as he'll work to Marcos Cabranes, who lined out to center field his first time up.
You might be looking at those pitches and think those are outside, but the home plate umpire has been very consistent in calling that pitch every time. It'll be up to both teams to adjust to that and be able to take those, just like that right there.
And that's a strike. No balls, 1 strike on Cabranes. You mentioned it, I think very consistent, and both starting pitchers, Juden and Tatum, are doing a pretty good job of hitting their spots. Matt Wilkins, the catcher, setting up on that outside corner as the 0-1 pitch on the way, and this one is off the shoulder of Cabranes, so a hit batsman there as Marcos Cabranes aboard for the first time today as 1 on, 1 out for Landon Gaz. Sodbusters on top 3-0. We're in inning number 3. Scheduled 7-inning contest. We'll have another one right after this one here on our YouTube broadcast. As Landon Gaz will step in the right-handed box, and he's gotten off to a nice Sodbuster start. 5 out of 13 coming into today for .385 and bounces this one foul. No balls and 1 strike on the Californian. 3 for 5 yesterday, a double, knocked in 2 and scored 1. After that, after he had a multi-hit game in his Sodbuster debut against Nebraska earlier this week. 3-0. Hastings on top. Runner at first, 1 out. The pitch low into the dirt. Wilkins with a nice pick throw back to first base and in safely is Cabranes. Cabranes had a notion to make a dirt ball read, but Mac Wilkins picked it with the backhand and gunned behind Cabranes, who hustled back in. Marcos, a definite steal threat out there as he's 6 out of 7 this year. Low, Cabranes a late jump. Now he will try to go back. He's caught in a pickle now as they'll run him back to first base. The throw, the tag, and out is Marcos Cabranes. He got a terribly late jump, and I'm not sure if he's tried for a little dirt ball read, but again, Mac Wilkins, a perfect backhand pick there, and it ends up being a caught stealing for Cabranes, and there are 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah, it just kind of looked like Cabranes got caught in no man's land, or maybe wanted to steal, but thought better of it, and just a little bit too late.
So what started as an opportunity, and now, of course, the next guy does hit it into the gap, and Sodbusters would have had first and third, maybe have even gotten a run all the way home with that shot to the gap. As it stands, they have 1 on, 2 outs as Landon Gaz takes it the other way, and 1 on and 2 outs now for Nick Jones, at the Sodbusters leading at 3-0. He's the DH. Nick Jones singled his first time up, eliminated on a fielder's choice grounder last inning. Tatum brings the pitch home, and that's a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes on Nick Jones for the Hastings Sodbusters. Jones, .233 for the season with 5 doubles, tied for first on the squad in runs batted in with 13. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Nick Jones. Jones standing in that left-handed box against the righty Tatum, and the pitch is way high and outside. Wilkins doing a good job of grabbing that. Well, he's been solid behind the plate in terms of keeping those balls from going by. For the most part, he had that one little miscue that probably cost his team a run, although the Sodbusters followed a double with 2 more singles. Probably would have got that run anyway. And this pitch low into the dirt, and Wilkins stops that one cleanly. It's now 3-1 on Nick Jones. Hitters count here with a runner at first and 2 outs. Sodbusters on top by a score of 3-0. They've out-hit the Spuds 5-2, trying for back-to-back wins here at Duncan Field. Now, Tatum will step off. Jones steps out, and there's some confusion here on the sides as Mac Wilkins going to come out and visit with Tristan Tatum out of Bakersfield, California. Cal State East Bay, his college, picked up a win in the 3rd meeting of the year between the Sodbusters and the Spuds. Went 5 1/3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 6 hits, struck out 5 and walked 2. Casper now 5-1 against Hastings for the year and owning virtually every statistical advantage, averaging a 10-5 victory every time they take the field. Yesterday's 11-10 game notwithstanding as Jones takes ball 4. So now first and second, boy, that caught stealing looming larger and larger. Sodbusters could be thinking about a big inning, but still trying to get their first run on the board as Kyle Hiltbrand will step in. Hiltbrand, the right fielder today, fielder's choice grounder and a run scored his last time up, and takes on the outside corner for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Hiltbrand, 3rd different position. So he was in left field, he was at third base, and now in right field, showing his versatility in his first 3 games for the Hastings Sodbusters. First and second, 2 outs. The pitch high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kyle Hiltbrand. Hiltbrand, 1 for 5 against Casper, had a double and knocked in 2, also scored a run. 1-1 pitch on the way. Inside, and it hit him. Got a piece of that arm guard, and they're loaded up. So Hastings, after scoring 3 2-out runs an inning ago, seeing if they can duplicate it here, if Cale Jensen can come through and keep it going. A single, a walk, a hit batsman. Cale Jensen was a strikeout victim his first time up. Tatum struck out 3, but now a huge chance for the Sodbusters to blow a hole in this one. 3-0 and looking for more. Sodbusters jumped out 6-0 yesterday and had to go extra innings to beat these Spuds 11-10. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Cale Jensen, North Dakota State redshirt this past year. He's a graduate of Central City High School. His high school baseball team, Central City Fullerton Centura, that co-op. 1-0 pitch on the way. Jensen, pretty good swing at it, but fouls it back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jensen, who had an electric start to his Sodbuster time after having hand surgery seemingly just a few weeks ago. Had a couple of doubles his first game and has the lone home run here at Duncan Field this year. His first game at Duncan Field, and he sends one out of here. 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2, 1-2, and Jensen going to have to battle. At third base, it's Landon Gaz. At second, Nick Jones. Kyle Hiltbrand at first. Sodbusters on top 3-0 and looking for more here in the home half of inning number 3. 7-inning contest at spacious Duncan Field. 1-2 pitch. Line drive. Base hit just off the tip of the shortstop's glove. And 1 run will score as the Sodbusters able to get the single from Jensen. As Gaz comes home, Jones didn't have any kind of jump as he was able to only get to third base, and they're loaded up again. Sodbusters lead it by a score of 4-0, and here's Josh Printer.
Yeah, and Jones there went back, but there's 2 outs, so he should have been going with the pitch anyway. Not sure if Jones would have scored if he would have gotten a good read on that, but you never know.
Here's the pitch, and Printer loops this one high in the air, right field, but playable this time. Tried to go to the same place he got a double his last time up, but this time Jacob Griffin able to get underneath it and make the play. But the Sodbusters do come up with another 2-out run. They get a run on 2 hits, and they leave them loaded. We head to the 4th inning. It's 4-0, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Head of the fourth inning of the contest, the Hastings Sodbusters on top by a score of 4-0. Dalton Juden giving a little more insurance there as Sodbusters have come up with 4 two-out runs. They just couldn't buy a 2-out hit early in the year, and you knew that it couldn't go that badly for that long, forever. And you know, now you start maybe turning the corner and doing things the other way. Pretty good time right at the end of the first half of the season. You start the second half anew. It's time to maybe feel a different mojo for this Hastings Sodbuster team.
Yeah, and we just couldn't do anything at Duncan Field. It seemed like the road was the key. The Sodbusters at one point hitting 65 points better on the road than at home. And even before this series, the team only hitting a 165 with runners in scoring position, coming into this game up to 226. And with timely hitting in the second and third innings, getting those runs home, that average keeps climbing. It's a moment of pure bliss here as the Sodbusters finally find something working here at Duncan Field.
Chandler Stocking leads off the fourth inning for the Spuds, bounces this one to the left side. Josh Brenner plays it on a hop, but can't make the transfer over to his hand. Well, I thought it was going to eat him up to begin with. An amazing stop, but then just could not get it cleanly into his hand, and the Sodbusters will commit an error here. 1 on and nobody out for Caspers. They trail by a score of 4-0.
Say that was kind of the ones where you're not sure where to play it. If you want to try and play it on the short hop, try and rush in and then have to rush a throw. But, yeah, I was right there with you. I thought that was going to scoot on right by, but got the glove on it, just couldn't complete it.
Nathan Martinez struck out his first time up. He stands the plate, throw back to first base, and Stocking dives back in safely. Looked like he was leaning a little bit. This Casper team, 31 stolen bases in 39 attempts, but you talked about their base stealing prowess yesterday. We'll see if they test Marcos Cabranes as much as they tried to test Rusty Wortman yesterday, and maybe a little different mindset too when you're trailing it by a score of 4-0, although they were down 6 runs yesterday and continued to press the issue as their comeback almost complete. Bouncing ball to the third baseman. Throw to second for 1. Over to first. Not going to be in time. And the ball does scoot away, but no chance for advancement. Chavez had a little bit of a struggle getting it out of his glove. Oliver was able to field it. Probably should have just eaten it there, but one way or the other, they do get the lead runner. It goes 5-4 to eliminate Stocking. Martinez aboard on the fielder's choice, and that will bring to the plate Dawson Barakani, who walked his first time up. Sodbusters on top 4-0.
That's a good play by Chavez at third. You know, a lot of the times you don't get the ball quick enough. You just want to go over to first, but Chavez still able to get the lead runner at second. Good play.
And good courage for Oliver to hold the bag at second to make sure they got the out before he tried to throw over to first as the pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Scott Galusha vacationing, but what's he doing on vacation? He's watching our YouTube broadcast because, you know, he keeps throwing out texts. And this is what he was hoping and thought they would see. This is what he was expecting from the Sodbusters, and very good start today. And maybe, Scott, don't come back. Maybe that's the key. No, I'm just joking. That's just because. But yeah, let's you don't mess with the streak, man. You don't mess with the streak. Scott's a baseball guy. He would understand. He would totally understand.
I agree, but Scott, we hope to keep these winning ways up when you come back.
That's right.
Hope you're enjoying it up north right now.
Yep, and this baby's a long way from being over too. You don't put this one in the book yet. Gotta get 21 outs instead of 27. We saw how hard that was yesterday, and Dalton Juden trying to work his way out of a little bit of a jam here in inning number 4. Sodbusters on top, 4-0. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Could be trouble. It could be fielded by Oliver. Steps on the bag. Throw to first. Not in time. How about the range showed by Nolan Oliver? Oliver able to get to the bag. You were hoping that Oliver and Printer wouldn't collide. Great job for Oliver. It goes 4 unassisted to eliminate Martinez. And Barakani aboard on the fielder's choice, and now Juden, who continues to make solid pitches, a chance to get out of this with no damage done, as you'll see Jacob Griffin step in.
Oliver's seen time at every infield position except first base, not as much at second, but good job to keep your balance there and just get the out at second.
As the pitch is rifled toward the right side, fielded by Oliver on a short hop, steps on the bag, and the middle infield gets it done for this Hastings Sodbuster crew in inning number 4. No runs, no hits, an error, and one man left. Head of the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's Hastings 4 and Casper nothing, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot, and sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Out of the bottom half of inning number 4, the Hastings Sodbusters with a 4-0 lead, and they'll look for more with 8-9-1 coming up against Tristan Tatum. Tatum 62 pitches through the first 3 innings. I'm sure his head coach Mike Bowles would like a long outing after the teams were tested yesterday with their bullpens, and same story for the Hastings Sodbusters and head coach Joel Skipper. Pitching coach Vinny Carone hoping for a long outing from Dalton Juden, and so far so good with Juden out in front 4-0.
Yeah, with the Spuds using a lot of their relievers yesterday, going long innings, they're having their day of mandated rest, and especially, like we mentioned, the 2 top relievers not with the team on this road trip, that Tatum's going to have to go a while for the Spuds.
Pitch is outside for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes, and now, kind of like yesterday, find a way to get those tack-on runs, keep the pressure on this Casper squad, and keep getting 2-out hits. You have a pretty darn good success. Chavez with an RBI single and a run scored his first time up. Takes low and outside for a ball. It's now 2 balls and no strikes on Chavez. 0 for 0, but a very large hit batsman. He was the guy that was hit by a pitch just before the game-winning HBP for Gage Frank. He loaded the bases, and then Frank was hit by the pitch to bring home the winning run as the Sodbusters ended up getting the victory in 11 innings, 11-10. And Chavez, a good eye here as he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. 4-0, 4 runs, 6 hits for the Sodbusters. They've committed the only error. Casper, no runs and 2 hits. Here's the pitch. Hits across for strike 3 and 1 the count on the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Anthony Chavez for the Hastings Sodbusters. Chavez, a Chico State recruit out of California. His hometown, Oxnard. 3-1 pitch. Fouls it away. Now 3-2 on Chavez. Chavez, a single, advanced on a wild pitch and would come in to score on Nolan Oliver's RBI single. Oliver then erased on a caught stealing. Nolan waiting on deck. A good defensive inning for him this past frame for the Hastings Sodbusters. 3-2 pitch on the way. Chavez stays alive as he fouls it back to the screen. 3-2, nobody out, bottom of the 4th, 7-inning game, a pair of 7-inning contests here at Duncan Field. 370 down the right field, make it the left field line, 367 into right. 405 in the alleys and 408 to straightaway center, and the wind has been whipping around from a variety of directions, and Chavez pounds this one into right field for his second hit of the day. Anthony Chavez is 2 for 2, and that will bring to the plate Nolan Oliver. Oliver with a pretty good day yesterday, and he gets an RBI single his first time up today. Nolan yesterday was able to come through in the number 9 spot in the batting order. 1 for 3, 2 runs scored for Nolan Oliver. The Hastings Sodbusters, and we'll see how they play it. He is squaring to bunt and gets a beautiful bunt down. Going to be picked up by Tatum. Only play to first. Low throw, dug out nicely. Nice job there for the Casper first baseman as able to get it done with Lucas Danewitz. Danewitz field that one on a short hop. So the sacrifice is completed. It's 1-3 on the putout. Chavez into scoring position at second, and Gage Frank looking to get it going here against Tatum. He's had 2 frustrating at-bats. Struck out looking twice against Tristan Tatum, but he can erase that with 1 swing of the bat. And a guy who is tied for first on the team with runs batted in. RBA chance here as he gets it out of play. No balls, 1 strike on the graduate of Des Moines Area Community College. He's still looking for his next 4-year stop. Hopefully has a good summer and will get some assistance and find a way to move on to a 4-year school. Everybody loves to play D1 ball, but find the right fit regardless of what level you're at. This pitch is popped out of play, almost caught just on the line as the wind blowing straight out to center. It's another one we thought was going to reach the screen, but Danewitz nearly came up with it right in front of the screen on the first base side.
Spud dugout has a good read on the wind. I thought it was going out too, but you heard them say, got room. Almost, that ball stayed in play and almost was the second out right there.
So Gage Frank given new life as he stands it on 0-2, and he swings and misses here. 3 straight strikeouts for Gage Frank, who has not hit this Casper pitching staff well at all this year, as Marcos Cabranes will come to the plate. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Overall 0 for 1. Gage Frank now 1 for 22 against Casper this year. Take away that, and he's probably over 300 for the season. He's hit a lot of teams pretty well, but not this Casper pitching staff. Cabranes first pitch swinging and fouls it away. As the Hastings Sodbusters, they are leading it by a score of 4-0. We're in inning number 4. 3 runs in the second and 1 in the third. 7-inning game, so halfway home here, and the Sodbusters trying to add another run. Cabranes fouls the pitch back, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Marcos. Any old hit to the outfield and a pretty decent chance to score Anthony Chavez from second base. Chavez with a single, advanced on Nolan Oliver's sacrifice bunt. And after a strikeout, it's up to Marcos, batting in the 2 spot. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Taken high for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Marcos Cabranes. Another one of the Arkansas Tech players on this team. Potential business or criminal justice major, as he's exploring both of those options during his time at Arkansas Tech. A Puerto Rican. And able to get a piece of this one. Fouls it back to the screen. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Marcos Cabranes. The Wonder Boys are the pretty solid spring as they advance to an NCAA Division II regional. 1-2 with 2 outs here in inning number 4. The Sodbusters on top by a score of 4-0. Tatum brings home the pitch. And this one is popped up. Short left field. Chavez will make the turn, but going back to make the play is the shortstop for Casper. That's Nathan Martinez. Thought maybe that was getting it into no man's land, but it didn't happen as the Sodbusters turned away. Leadoff single is unproductive. No runs on 1 hit, 1 man left, and we had 2. Inning number 5, it's 4-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at Spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Head to inning number 5. Sodbusters with the lead by a score of 4-0. And Dalton Juden trying to pick up his 3rd win of the year as put 4 zeros on the board to this point. He's allowed no runs on just 3 hits. Able to work around a couple of different jams and just 2 hits as he's allowed a couple of hits in the game. And he's done a solid job as he's going to be throwing his 53rd pitch after throwing only 8 pitches this past inning. And 5 strikeouts and just 1 walk, also a hit batsman to his credit. He's going to be working to the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Lucas Danuwitz. And Danuwitz actually will come to the plate for the first time today here in inning number 5. Mac Wilkins batted out of order. Danuwitz actually officially gets put out 2 unassisted. But someone batted out of order in his spot. He's out. Mac Wilkins actually batted twice, and then after striking out, ended up grounding out that same inning in an unusual 3rd inning. So Danuwitz actually at the plate for the first time, and he's got a 1-1 count on him. Lucas Danuwitz becoming the everyday first baseman, at least for this road trip likely, after the injury to Reed Beatty. Beatty out of action for an extended period of time after taking a thrown ball to the face, and the sunglasses shattered, and they had to pick plastic out of the open cut in his face. Yeah, it just sounded like a very gruesome injury, but the good news is Beatty is in the dugout for this Casper team, and I'm not going to say no worse for the wear because it's going to be a little bit of a recovery, but hopefully no permanent damage. 3-1 pitch right in there, 3-2 now on Lucas Danuwitz. Danuwitz out of Deerfield, Illinois, goes to the College of Lake County. Coming into today with a batting average of 167, and he couldn't pull the trigger as he goes down looking, and Dalton Juden comes up with strikeout number 6, and Danuwitz is gone with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Breaking ball's been working mighty well to go along with that outside fastball. Juden really commanding his pitches well in the strike zone and keeping these hitters off balance early.
So here's Mac Wilkins, who officially grounded out his first time up. He takes this one square off the back as he becomes the 2nd man plunked by Dalton Juden, and it'll be back to the top of the order for Elijah Reeves. This Casper team can get back in a hurry with their top of the order and the speed they have, the hitting prowess. Reeves, Marsick, and Burke. Next 3 to bat, 1 on and 1 out now is Elijah Reeves. 1 for 1, he's reached base twice. He was the other guy hit by Dalton Juden. Stands in that right-handed box. And the first pitch, Reeves bunts it on the 3rd base side. Could be trouble. Chavez charges, sets, throws in time. Chavez, great mobility there. You knew he had to make the perfect play. Any bobble, and Reeves is aboard. Instead, it's 5-3 on the putout there. And I suppose it's officially a sacrifice bunt, even though everybody in the stadium knows Reeves was bunting for a hit, but there's a runner in scoring position with 2 outs now with Matthew Marsick coming up.
Yeah, even though Reeves has speed, he can hit too, so wouldn't expect him to be just sacrificing himself. So good play by Chavez, come charging in. Not an easy play at all, but made it look pretty nice and easy.
4-0. Sodbusters trying to get out of this top of the 5th inning with no damage done. And here's another bunt attempt. That's foul as Marsick was trying to lay one down. Just saw Chavez with a tremendous play, but going to test him again, see what they can get done, and see if they can prompt another Hastings error. Sodbusters do have one. Casper, no official errors in the game. 4 runs, 7 hits for Hastings. No runs, 2 hits for Casper. The Sodbusters trying to put another 0 on the board here in the 5th. Mac Wilkins, a decent lead out at 2nd. Pitch is popped up, foul territory. Chavez over to give it a look, couldn't get there. And 2 strikes the count on Matthew Marsick. Marsick 1 for 2 on the day. His batting average coming in at .342, leads the team with 2 triples, tied for first on the team with 17 runs batted in, and against Hastings, just below 500 for the year, 12 out of 27. He went 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Marsick was hitting at that 500 mark against the Sodbusters before yesterday. 0-2 pitch on the way. Foul ball and goes back to the screen. It remains 2 strikes on Marsick. Overall, the numbers against one another. The Sodbusters raised their batting average against the Spuds by 19 points. They're hitting 198 against Casper for the year. Casper now below 300 against Hastings at 294 after yesterday's outcome. Called strike 3 at 1, probably at the knees. Marsick not pleased with that call. He's down on strikes for the second time, and the Sodbusters are out of the 5th. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We had the bottom half of inning number 5. It's 4-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
This is Sodbuster Baseball. We head to the bottom half of inning number 5. We'll see what Hastings can get done as they will be sending to the plate Gaz Jones and Hiltbrand against Tristan Tatum. Tatum out for his 5th inning of work, and Tristan Tatum now has thrown 78 pitches, 50 of them strikes. Really pretty solid pitching on both sides, and if not for the 2-out hitting prowess for this Hastings Sodbuster team, it could be a scoreless tie. All 4 of the runs for Hastings coming with 2 outs, and that is so nice to say. Because, man, the first month of the season, the 2-out hits just have not come. But today, back-to-back run-scoring hits for the Sodbusters in the 2nd, and then a 2-out single for Cale Jensen getting a run home in the 3rd. We're now in the 5th, and again, try to get a little tack on if you can, as Landon Gaz steps in for the Hastings Sodbusters. A single and a run scored in the 3rd for the big fella out of California. Gaz takes inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Landon Gaz.
After the 3rd inning single, Gaz now hitting .429 on the early going in his short season so far.
Pitch inside, almost got a piece of him, but it may have actually got a piece of the bat. 1 ball and 1 strike as Landon Gaz, a tough luck foul ball right there on what would have been ball 2 if Gaz could have pulled the bat back. 1-1 the count instead on Landon as the pitch comes in, and that one's right across for strike 2, 1-2. Yeah, if you can keep up .427, we may find a spot in the batting order for you every day. That's we'll just kind of see how that goes. 1-2 the count. And Tatum brings the pitch home. Gaz pops it up into right field. Coming on, it's going to be Jacob Griffin making the catch. 1 out here in the 5th. That'll bring up Nick Jones, designated hitter, left-hander. He will step in against Tristan Tatum. A fairly effective day for Tatum, doing what he needs to try to keep his team in it and to save the bullpen for the Casper Spuds as they try to piece together this 4-game series. Bouncing ball right side. Nice backhand stop for Daniewicz. He'll dish to Tatum covering, and it's 3-1 on the putout as Jones a quick 2nd out here in inning number 5. That'll bring up Kyle Hiltbrand. So Tatum trying to really maximize his pitches. We'll see if Hiltbrand maybe takes a pitch or two to try to give Dalton Juden a little more breathing room. There's no action in the bullpen, and why would there be with Dalton putting zeros on the board the first 5 innings as he tries to work his way through the 6th. Hiltbrand first pitch swinging instead, probably at ball 1. It's no balls and 1 strike on Kyle Hiltbrand, another guy who's been productive in his early tenure with the Sodbusters. A run scored today, was also hit by a pitch. And he watches this one go by for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Kyle Hiltbrand, right-handed hitter for the Hastings Sodbusters. 4-0. Hastings on top, bottom half of inning number 5. Tatum trying to set him down 1-2-3. Hiltbrand rifles this one to left field, and that's a base hit. So the Sodbusters continue to produce with 2 outs as Kyle Hiltbrand aboard. And Cale Jensen will come to the plate here in inning number 5. 4-0, Hastings with the lead and trying for some more 2-out magic. And getting it done with the middle and the bottom of the order at times. You know, got Kyle Hiltbrand with a run scored. Printer, Chavez with runs scored. Line drive, center field, base hit. Back-to-back 2-out hits for the Hastings Sodbusters, and here comes Hastings again, threatening with 2 outs, and Josh Printer, who has one of the big hits of the game, the RBI double back in the second to get things going. Can he come through again for this Hastings team?
Jensen not wasting any time, picked on that first pitch fastball right on the outer half of the plate, and not trying to pull it, not trying to do too much when that's out on the outer half of the plate. Just go with the ball and put it into the short outfield.
Andrew Mounts will come out of the dugout and have a visit with his right-hander Tatum. Hastings now with 9 hits on the day. They lead it by a score of 4-0. Pitch count, not necessarily a factor, but the fact that there are runners at first and second certainly is. 87 pitches thrown by Tatum. You get a maximum of 110 here in the Independence League. And like I say, with this big 4-game series going, and Casper, they did have 1 day off before coming here after they got weathered out against the Badlands Big Sticks on Thursday, but shorthanded coming in and having to use a variety of pitchers yesterday, wanting to go with Tatum as long as they can. And Printer, meanwhile, trying for his multi-hit game after an RBI double and a run scored back in the second. Here's the pitch. Printer rifles this one into center field. That's a base hit. Sodbusters are going to try to score the run. Here comes the throw home, and it is not going to be in time. Runners, no chance to move up. They'll stay at first and second, but it's an RBI single for Josh Printer. He's 2 for 3. He has 2 2-out RBI, and the Hastings Sodbusters lead it by a score of 5-0 as Kyle Hiltbrand, who began this rally with a single, scores for the Sodbusters.
2 pitches, 2 singles for the Sodbusters, and got to credit Hiltbrand at second. He took off right away at second. He knew that ball was going to get down. If there's any hesitation, you probably get thrown out of the plate or held up at third. But great read by Hiltbrand to get across the plate there.
Plus 2 outs, you need to be going here. Same story for Chavez and company. Sodbusters hopefully get a run home from second if Chavez can put one to the outfield. And a single here could score another. Chavez, big swing, no contact. Anthony looking for a 3-hit game. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Like I say, Sodbusters just playing within themselves, too. Not trying to do too much. Kind of out-Caspering Casper. This is what Casper did to Hastings in the first 5 meetings of the year. Just putting the ball in play, putting it to the outfield, finding holes in the defense, and kind of nice to see the page turned and see some of these go the Sodbusters' way as they have out-hit Casper 10-2. They lead the game 5-0 as Tatum brings home the pitch. Just misses. 2 balls and a strike on Anthony Chavez. So 2 up and 2 down for Hastings. A single for Hiltbrand, a single for Jensen, a single for Printer. Hastings with a tack-on run here in the 5th as they're seeking their 2nd straight victory, trying to get their 2nd 2-game win streak of the season. Pitch low and outside. Another good dig for Mac Wilkins. He has saved his pitcher several wild pitches today with his prowess behind the plate. It's 3-1 now on Chavez, with Nolan Oliver waiting on deck. And Oliver's had a pretty good couple of days after he had 2 runs scored yesterday. Oliver with a single, an RBI, and a sacrifice so far here today. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at ball 4 there, and Chavez not going to be pleased with that effort. The good news is it wasn't strike 3, and it will allow the runners to take off here with 3-2 and 2 outs. Now you gap 1, you get yourself 2 RBI. So 3-2 to Chavez. Tatum trying to work his way out of this jam here in the 5th. Right-hander brings it home. Line drive, center field, base hit. That'll allow the run to score. Sodbusters trying to go first to third. High throw, gets away. Sodbusters will not have a chance to advance home, but they do get the RBI single from Chavez, and on the throw, Chavez advances to second, so he comes through with his second 2-out RBI single of the day. Jensen scores the run. Printer ends up at third. Chavez at second. And here's Nolan Oliver trying to keep it going. And that may be the end of the day for Tatum as he cannot complete the fifth. 2 runs have scored. Sodbusters lead at 6-0. We'll have a pitching change to tell you more right after this. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Pitching change for the Casper Spuds. That'll do it for Tristan Tatum, who works 4 2/3 innings. Just could not get that last out of the day, and it's going to be the Casper Spuds going to the bullpen here. Tatum goes 4 2/3 innings, allowing 6 runs so far on 11 hits, striking out 4 and walking 1. He also hit 1 as this Casper team trying to find a way to get out of this with no more damage done. And I believe it's Austin Stallwick in there now. Right-handed pitcher out of Gresham, Oregon, goes to Mount Hood Community College. No record, a 9.0 ERA, making just his second appearance. In 1 inning, he's allowed 1 run on 1 hit, no strikeouts, 2 walks. This Casper team, after yesterday, they've now walked more than they have struck out. They had more strikeouts than walks. They'd turned that around, but after yesterday's performance, 17 strikeouts. So that's been an issue for this pitching staff during the course of the season. But Tatum actually doing a good job in that respect with 4 Ks and just 1 walk. And here's Nolan Oliver trying to keep it going. Oliver yesterday with a solid performance in the number 9 spot, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored in that win over Casper. And today an RBI single back in the 2nd inning and laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt in the 4th. And we're now in inning number 5. What started 2 up, 2 down. They end up chasing the starting pitcher with 4 straight singles, the last 2 RBI singles from Printer and Chavez. And now here comes Oliver trying to keep that thing going. An RBI or a single to the outfield here, likely plates 2 with runners at 2nd and 3rd. As Stallwick brings it across for strike 1, no balls and 1 strike on Nolan Oliver. The Highland Community College Scotty out of Bentonville, Arkansas. Highland in northeast Kansas. Part of that tough Jayhawk conference. 0-1 pitch on the way. Outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Started with a line out or fly out from Landon Gaz, and then Nick Jones with the ground out to the first baseman, and then the singles began. 6-0, Hastings on top. Oliver, a decent swing on that one, but fouls it away. 1-2 on Nolan Oliver. Kyle Hiltbrand with a single. Cale Jensen with a single. Then Josh Printer bringing Hiltbrand home. Chavez was able to play Jensen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 5th inning, 7-inning game, so it's getting late. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field, diving grab is made. Thought it was going to get to center field, but there's Chandler Stocking with the headlong grab before it got to the outfield. And the second baseman for Casper flashes the leather again here at Duncan Field, but Hastings with a good go. 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave a pair. We'll head to the 6th. Hastings 6 and Casper nothing, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
7-inning contest here at Duncan Field. We head to the 6th. The Hastings Sodbusters in command against Casper, 6-0. And to take you home, here's Ryan Valenta.
Dalton Juden back out for the Sodbusters. He has been lights out so far through 5 innings, just scattering 2 hits. One came in the first inning, one in the third inning, 1 walk and 7 punch-outs for Dalton Juden, who having the best game of his season so far. And you got to figure with only 64 pitches, you could possibly get him through the next 2 innings, save that bullpen for game 2 if you need to, and then have a lot more bullpen options coming in game 2 today and the last game of the series tomorrow. Hastings 6, Casper nothing, as the Sodbusters score 2 more in the 5th inning. Could have been 4, but a great diving stop by Chandler Stocking to save those 2 runs at second base, and he will be due up second this inning behind Chase Burke. Burke batting is 0 for 2. Breaking ball is in there for strike 1. First pitch strike to Burke. Sodbuster offense now with 9 2-out hits in this contest against Casper. Same pitch, just a little bit upstairs this time for ball 1. Pitch number 3 is grounded foul to the right side. If you just recently joined us, the reason we're still playing at 6:35 was an umpire delay. We went 50 minutes for a delay here at Duncan Field. But now moving along nicely. Pitch upstairs as Burke able to hold up on the swing. Count goes to 2-2. First pitch was at 5:05, so an hour and a half later, we're through 5 completes. Ground ball to second base. Oliver scoops it up, toss over to first in time for out number 1. And the first man is retired again for Dalton Juden.
Yeah, a little different. I think we're through 4 innings after 2 hours yesterday.
It's a lot, even with the delay, still moving at a much faster pace than yesterday. We didn't get out of here until almost 10:30 last night, and turning around pretty early here to fit in 2 more games today. Stocking taking outside for ball 1. Juding with the second pitch. There's a called strike for strike 1. Sodbusters compiling 11 hits in 5 innings. Casper just the 2 singles. And there's single number 3 right on cue for Chandler Stocking. Line drive to center field, and Stocking is aboard with his first hit of the afternoon. And there's 1 on with 1 out.
Really saw Stocking struggle in a lot of ways yesterday. He was disappointed with his plate appearances, and he had 2 errors yesterday, which was just jaw-dropping the way we've seen him play defense against the Sodbusters during the course of this season.
Nathan Martinez, next man up. Breaking ball curves in there for strike 1. That breaking ball that starts up, if you time that well, you can crush that ball, but Spuds have not seen that out of the hands of Juden so far, and that 6'6" frame probably doesn't help too much. To the right field line, and that's in for a hit. Stocking will head all the way to third on the single to right field. Hiltbrand guns it in, and Oliver knocks it down. So 2 consecutive singles. That'll put runners at first and third, still with one out.
Those tack-on runs looking larger and larger. Sodbusters, nobody on, 2 outs, able to get 2 runs in the 5th. You feel okay, first and third, up 6-0. No panic yet with Juden out there still working on a shutout, and you'd settle for give it up a run if you can get it out here, or better yet, how about a double play?
Sodbusters had a 6-run lead twice in the game yesterday. Ultimately, the Spuds were able to claw all the way back to tie the game at 10 before the Sodbusters ultimately walked it off in the 11th inning. Ball 1 is outside to Dawson Barakani. Beer batter of game number 1. Barakani is yet to strike out, has walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down low as Barakani comes up empty. Runners at the corners. Sodbusters have already turned a double play in this game. Another one would be pretty fine right now. Called strike on the outside corner for strike 2 to Barakani. Duncan Field 1 strike away from completing the beer batter strikeout. Breaking ball is right there, but called a ball for ball 2.
And the reason it was called a ball, he didn't hit his spot. You saw Cabranes line up maybe outside the plate. The ball came back over the plate, so Cabranes had to move his glove so far. I think that kind of fooled the umpire.
Happens to the best of us. 2-2 pitch, and that hit him. Breaking ball didn't curve inside enough, and Barakani stays in there. And he'll reach first. So after the leadoff ground out, 3 have reached. 2 singles and a hit batter loads the bases for Jacob Griffin.
I don't think there's any action still in the Sodbuster bullpen. If we're talking about a 3-0 game or a 4-0 game, you may see that, but still 6-0, and the Sodbusters trying to do everything they can to let Dalton Juden work his way out of difficulty in the 6th.
And it'd be nice to just get the last 5 outs for Juden. Ground ball to second. Oliver will go to second for 1. Printer to first. Double play. And there it is. Another 4-6-3 double play. Sodbusters get the twin killer to get out of a bases loaded jam. As the Spuds come up empty once again, Sodbusters have hung 6 straight zeros. They're looking for more coming up in the bottom of the 6th.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sodbuster defense looking mighty fine. Able to turn the 4-6-3 double play, the second of the game, to get the Sodbusters out of trouble, which we've mentioned this Spuds team is never out of a game. But with that out, they are now 3 outs away as Sodbusters will try to tack on a few more for insurance here at Duncan Field, and they will send Gage Frank, Marcos Cabranes, and Landon Gaz to face Austin Stallwick here in the home half of the 6th inning. Just 1 inning to play as we will kick off our second game shortly afterwards.
It's gone pretty well. The only thing you'd really like to see is this guy get going. 3 strikeouts for him, and he's probably very happy to not see Tristan Tatum out there.
Tatum struck him out all 3 times as face a new pitcher in Austin Stallwick. Pitches ball 1 down low. Spuds able to double their hit count to 4 hits in the last inning, but still nothing in the run column. Ground ball to the short. Martinez. Long throw over to first, and Frank beats it out for an infield hit. Martinez had to wait for that ball to get the hop he liked, but it was too late as Frank beats that out.
Yeah, Martinez, if he charges, I don't know if he's able to make a clean play because that was just a really tough play to handle. Martinez did what he could. Nice dig for Danuitz, but give Gage Frank his first hit of the day, and the Sodbusters with 12 hits here in the 6th inning.
Sodbusters surpassing their hit total from last night as they still are looking for more here in the 6th. Cabranes tattoos a ball to left field. Burke fighting the sun all the way back, and he makes the catch just shy of the wall as he goes down to a knee and hauls that one in. Great play. You got to tip your cap, and Chill Skipper at third base tips his cap to Burke out there. That's a great play.
It's about as good as it gets for Chase Burke, and I've heard Hastings folks talk. Left field at Duncan Field is about as hard as it gets, and that's a very good play. Battling the sun, battling the wind. Oh, and yeah, it almost was hit to the wall. Good job for Chase Burke.
Cabranes really squared that ball up. Probably the farthest ball we've seen him hit at Duncan Field, but that'll go down as a flyout on the scorecard, unfortunately, for Marcos. Landon Gaz takes strike one. Gaz had a third-inning single and has flied out to right twice since. So Frank remains at first after the leadoff single. Pitch number 2 is up high for ball 2. Stallwick just about hitting 85 on the gun. And for a utility player, that's pretty darn good. Stallwick just seeing his 7th game for the Spuds this season. That's inside and right off the quad of Gaz. So he hits the batter. Gaz will reach first. Now he got 2 on with 1 out.
Again, trying to just tack on run. Don't try to get too fancy. Put the ball in play and see what happens. And Nick Jones, one of your top RBI guys, up there to try to add more.
Jones had a single in the second. It's 1 for 2 with a walk. Pitch is called a strike on the outside part of the plate. Wind now blowing almost more out than to the side, still going a little bit from right to left. Way inside, and I think that was off the umpire. I don't think Wilkins got a glove on that. No, it was off somebody. It took a weird hop all the way almost to the Spuds dugout. As that's a wild pitch, and runners move up.
So better chance now for Jones. The Sodbusters already up 6-0, and at this point, Casper trailing by this margin. They aren't going to play the infield in. So if you get a ground ball to a middle infielder, you get a run batted in if you're Nick Jones.
Spuds playing Jones shifted to the right side, stalking farther over to the left, and Martinez closer to the second base bag. Jones comes up empty. Two on for Nick Jones, facing the 1-2 count. Spiked that and hit the mask of the catcher Wilkins, and doesn't get far enough away from him, so no advance. It's the one disadvantage of playing the turf, those soft spots, you never know where they are, but then again with the dirt, ball can bounce anywhere too. But a good job by Wilkins to keep in front of that. Jones, 2-2. And that gets away, and here comes Gage Frank, and he will score on the wild pitch. As Wilkins not able to knock that one down, Sodbusters now have 7 runs on the board, and they do tack on insurance here.
And still a chance for Jones. Runner at third and less than 2 outs. In Casper, I want to say they're conceding, but they're not playing the infield in. They're just trying to, they would concede a run for an out. Sodbusters would gladly take that here with just 3 outs to get in the 7th.
Slashed foul down the left field side.
And that probably makes a little easier decision to throw out Dalton Juden there in the 7th. You have a 7-run lead, trying to get a complete game and totally save the bullpen for today and maybe even more importantly into tomorrow's 9-inning game.
Payoff to Jones to the left side. That's Barakani at third, all the way over. And runner will score, so an RBI ground out for Nick Jones. And Sodbusters have another 2-run inning as Barakani elected to go to first just to get the out.
Pro at bat there for Jones, doing exactly what he needed to do, just put the ball in play to an infielder. Sodbusters get it done. Runner at third and less than 2 outs. Isn't fundamental baseball fun? That is just so cool.
Finally seeing the Sodbusters able to get the job done.
Do little things. Man, it's really neat.
Sodbusters pitch to Hiltbrand is grounded. Martinez off-balance throw off the base, and Hiltbrand avoids the tag and dives in safely at first base. As Danuitz at first not able to slap the tag as that throw sailed him wide.
Got to be an infield single. Martinez had a long way to go and really had nothing on that throw, and good hustle for Hiltbrand. He's got a multi-hit game. That is 13 hits on the day for the Sodbusters, and we're not through the 6th inning.
More hits than we've seen in less innings here at Duncan Field. I believe the high is 14 hits in that shootout with Casper. Casper had 24 hits. Sodbusters with 14. Popped foul behind the screen for Cale Jensen.
Doesn't that Monday game with the Nebraska prospects seem like a long time ago? 18-7. It was 18-1 at one point in that game. Seems like a totally different team today, doesn't it?
Sodbusters have found the magic spell here at Duncan Field with much success, and right off the leg of Jensen and taking it like a champ, he will go down to first base and didn't even flinch coming at that ball. That's a strong guy right there.
So the Sodbusters keep it rolling with 2 outs, and yeah, I don't want to get greedy. I'd take like 3 of these runs. Let's start the next game. Put those at the bottom of the first of the next game. You got another game to play, so you like to keep it going, keep the momentum going, but don't use all your offense this game, boys.
4th hit batter for Spud pitching in this 7-inning contest. Strike 1 to Josh Printer on the outside corner. Printer with an RBI double in the second, his first extra base hit of the year. It came right on cue. Right center field. Griffin going back, has it measured, and makes the catch to the left side for out number 3. Sodbusters get 2 more. They leave 2, but they have a large 8-0 advantage, and it's the last chance for the Spuds. Coming up here, 3 outs away from a shutout here at Duncan Field.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Last chance for the Spuds. Sodbusters 3 outs away from compiling a winning streak. Trying to win their 2nd game in a row and 2nd overall win here at Duncan Field here in the 2023 season. This is Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein, bringing you game 1 of the 2 doubleheader. We will have game number 2 coming up shortly due to the delay at the start. We will try to play this game pretty much directly after the next game. Be on the lookout for another stream. We will end this one, and we will have the 2nd game on a different stream coming up shortly after the Sodbusters get 3 outs here in the top of the 7th. 8-9-1. Lucas Danuitz will lead off for the Spuds. And if you can get 3 outs here, you make Dalton Juden a complete game shutout winner. Takes ball 1 up high. Danuitz struck out in his only official at-bat in the 5th. Cracks one to center field. Frank going back. No problem with the sun, as that's an easy out to start off the inning for Dalton Juden. 1 up and 1 down.
You like to get that first out. Like I said, not as critical, 8-0, and those tack-on runs look huge. Sodbusters scoring 4 out of the 6 at-bats against this Casper team today.
So Mac Wilkins, next batter up. Wilkins has had himself an interesting day. Hitless on the day, and also with an unofficial strikeout. Back in the 3rd inning, we had a lineup card error as Danuitz and Wilkins batted out of order. Wilkins struck out, but then had to replace Danuitz as he was the correct batter. So he got 2 at-bats in the same inning, and the official at-bat on the scorecard was a ground out to shortstop. So he's 0 for 1 with a hit bat. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Quickly behind 0-2. And stays alive on that foul ball.
That'd be a great sports trivia question. Explain to me how this guy got out twice but is officially 0 for 1. Mm-hmm.
Baseball bingo right there. That's
Oof.
something you definitely do not have on your scorecard. From the line, Juden again with the 0-2. Ground ball to the shortstop Printer. On a couple hops over to first in time for out number 2. 1 out away here from a Sodbuster victory at Duncan Field. And last hope will be Elijah Reeves here in the 7th inning. First pitch to Reeves is a breaking ball for called strike 1. Reeves singled and was stranded in the 1st. He's been on base in 2 of his 3 at-bats. Ground ball, and this should do it. Gaz takes it himself at first base, and that is in time, a 1-2-3 inning for Dalton Juden. As the Sodbusters complete the shutout, Juden pitches 7 innings, and only 4 hits allowed. Sodbuster offense comes to life here. Duncan Field, as the Sodbusters, it's their turn to high five in the center of the diamond.
So final line score on this one, the Sodbusters get the victory, 8 runs, 13 hits. They commit the lone error, and for Casper, no runs on 4 hits and no errors. The winning pitcher is Dalton Juden, as Juden works the complete game shutout. Excellent job for Dalton as he is able to do it in only 88 pitches, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. As far as the offensive highlights, several multi-hit games in just this 7-inning contest. Anthony Chavez, the big game, 3 for 3. 2 RBIs and a run scored, 2 for 4 for Josh Printer. That double, 2 RBIs and a run scored, 2 for 3 for Cale Jensen, an RBI and a run scored. Kyle Hiltbrandt with a multi-hit game. He scored twice. Nick Jones, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Landon Gaz, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored. And Gage Frank, 1 for 4, a run scored. Nolan Oliver, 1 for 2 with an RBI. As the Sodbusters getting it done up and down the lineup, and they get the victory by a score of 8-0.
Good bounce back from the Sodbusters after losing the first 2 games to the Prospects earlier this week. They win the first 2 games against an injured Casper lineup, but not to discredit them at all. The Spuds still put up a fight last night. Little bats went a little quiet this game. The Sodbusters come out victorious. So we will say goodbye for now. We will come back with another stream in our broadcast here shortly. Again, Sodbusters with the 8-0 victory. We will have Game 2 coming up shortly. This is Sodbuster Baseball.